All right, let's get started. We'll do attendance real quick. Just, who- want to show them like, hey, I'm taking this seriously. Like I'm spending a nice chunk of change on getting this equipment. I want to be able to show you all how much I care about this craft. And you also want to rely on social media, right? You want to rely on things like Facebook. You want to rely on things like Twitter. You want to rely on things like Instagram. You want to rely on whatever social media that you can get your hands on, TikTok, whatever, because that is how you're going to promote yourself, right? That is how starting off, you start the channel off, is going to use those avenues to promote yourself, right? Hey, come check me out. This is when I was training. I was training Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 4 to 8 or from 8 to 12 or whatever you're going to do, right? That's how you're going to promote yourself on social media. So you want to rely on that. Another reason why you want to rely on social media is because um, trends. You want to always stay in social media to see what's trending. What new song is out there popping right now? What new trend is everybody doing that I can kind of hop on so I can build my audience, right? So these are things that you will want to rely on social media for. Collaborate with other streamers or creators, right? Eventually, once you get enough cachet or even at the gate sometime, you may catch the eye of other streamers or creators more successfully. You want to be able, you want to be able to take advantage of that and collab with them sometimes, right? Because Some of their audience is going to come some of your audience, right? Some of their community is going to become some of your community, right? That's how you grow, right? Because your community can be fans of multiple other creators, right? We see this all the time, right? We see people that are maybe fans of Duke Dennis or whoever, right? And then they may be fans of Phantom, right? And they in the same crew. So you always want to take advantage of collaboration when it's available to you. And then, of course, I said this and rely on social media, but also stay up to date with new trends and games, right? What's the hot new indie game out, right? If you're a video game trend, what's the hot new indie game out that I can play that people will flock to my channel, right? We have seen indie games blow up on social media. Well, not so social media too, but blow up streaming world before things like Shovel Knight, things of that nature, Stardew Valley, right? These are all indie games that I'm naming that people have played and they've used to build their channels, right? Minecraft, when it first started, right before with Microsoft, that's an indie game. We see that people have made careers just playing and streaming Minecraft, right? So you always want to stay up to date with new games and new trends, right? Be consistent with your streaming schedule. You always want to stay consistent with your streaming schedule, right? You want to be able to, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, right? Hey, I'll stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and I alternate the weekends on my streaming schedule. Or you do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and just stay consistent. Right? You just want to stay consistent, right? Because once you stay consistent, once you're able to stay consistent enough with your streaming schedule, once you stay consistent with your streaming schedule, if something was to happen, then your community, your audience will understand if you don't stream a certain day, right? You may have, it may be the whatever hot new game is at the time, and you know that people are going to just flock to your channel to see you play the game and get your take on it. And something may can come up. You may be sick. It may be a family emergency, whatever the case may be. You may not even just feel like doing it today. They won't understand if you put somebody like, hey, sorry, but something came up. You're not gonna be able to stream today, just because based on your consistency, they know that you're always there, right? So you always want to be there, have consistent to build cachet. And of course, interact with your audience, right? Your audience, as much as they're going to support you, they also want to be heard, right? They want to be seen. So interact with them, answer some questions in the chat, in the super chat. You know, do giveaways, ask for advice, right? Do polls like, hey, what game you want me to play next? Or hey, what you want to talk about next? Like always interact with your audience because as your audience grows, they always want to be a part or your strength. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to make sure that their voice matters, right? So you always want to interact with your audience. And with that, hand in hand also goes into creating your Discord channel, right? Discord channel for streamers, probably one of the best things to have, right? Because it can be a wall garden. You can be selective of who you let into your Discord channel, you know, what y'all can talk about, all of that, right? And it's also a place that your community can come to as one and feel welcome, right? You always going to want that. I have a video I'm going to play. Talking about this and just giving some examples. I think it's going to help out a lot. But give me 1 second. One second. Let me go ahead and. So, let's make sure I have.
This video will help you. Hopefully, that's the goal. About 2 years ago, I made a video on this channel that is by far my best performing video by miles, explaining all the things that you can do to grow your Twitch channels and start to gain some more followers and some more viewers. However, a lot has changed since 2021 in the live streamer space, so that video needs an update, and that's what this video is going to be. In this video, I'm going to be going over all the tips and tricks that I've used and still use to gain a following on Twitch that will absolutely help you if this year is the year that you decide to take on the streaming journey and have some fun over on Twitch, or I suppose any live streaming platform this will work for. Without further ado, let's jump into how you can actually grow on Twitch in 2023. hopefully. Think about your streaming title. Scroll through any of the big games that are being played on Twitch right now, and you will see the same thing over and over again. Fortnite with my duo, come chill. Warzone and chill, come say hi. That is not an enticing, clickable title. Would you watch a video that simply just said, I made a video, come click it? No, because it doesn't tell you anything. Put something funny or something wacky and wild that might actually entice someone to click your stream. It's no secret that Twitch provides no discoverability to its streamers, so you have to take every advantage you have that will get people to click on your stream should they just be scrolling through the category. I can't tell you what exactly your title should be because it's going to be different for everybody. But what I would say is scroll through the category that you're normally live in and look at some other people's titles, or check out some other streamers you like and look at what their titles are. I always tend to put something that's absolutely completely unhinged in my titles, like Irish Supreme Gigantor destroys all in video game wow, or something stupid. Point is, it's not enough to just say come say hi. It won't make anyone actually come and say hi to you. On top of the title, add tags to your stream. Twitch allows you to add custom tags to your stream. You can put whatever you want in there, like first time player or backseating encouraged or please help me or give me advice or whatever you want. I have the tag crazed barbarian. I also have the tag Ryan Gosling on my stream. I don't know why, but people see it and they click on the stream and they're like, yo, what's up with your tags? It's a genuine thing. Get creative with your tags and put some stuff in there that combined with your title may actually entice people even further to come and click you. Your whole goal with Twitch is to somehow separate yourself from 8.9 million other streamers. That number is real. As of 2020, there are 8.9 million active streamers on Twitch. Turn off your view count. Do not look at how many people are watching you on stream. I know it's really nice to be able to see like, oh, wow, I got 3 viewers or I got 10 viewers. Wow, that's awesome. However, on the flip side of that, you could have a really off day and stream to no one. So you're not performing, you're not on because no one's there. There's no reason for you to be like, hey, what's up? I'm the streamer. Hog. What's the point? You've no audience. It's like being on stage at a bar and playing music and there's literally no one there. It's not going to matter what you do or say because no one's going to see it, right? Wrong. Somebody could come in and be there for a second and you're not saying anything because you think no one's there, and next thing they're gone because they're not waiting around for you to say anything. You should at all times be acting as if you have 1,000 viewers in your stream. I know it's so difficult to like turn on the whole streamer thing and be really enthusiastic and energetic when you think that there's no one watching you. But that is it. That's the reality of what you have to do. Constantly try to be talking and acting like those viewers are there, and maybe eventually they will be. But if you're saying nothing and waiting for 100 viewers, they won't come. That's why you should just turn off the view count. If you don't know, there could be no one there or there could be 1,000 people there. But either way, you're doing your thing and you're being an entertaining streamer. If you're struggling with this, I made a video on how to talk to an empty chat or to a quiet chat. This is what the thumbnail looks like. You can find it on my channel, linked below or in the card up here. And now for the one that is said time and time again by me and anyone else who makes content like this. Make content on other platforms. Now, telling you to make content is like telling a master musician to play music. What does it mean? What do you want? What do you want to see? What is the thing I should be making? Unfortunately, the answer to that is going to lie within you. However, I was so against this at the start, but now I'm coming around to the idea of it because I feel like it really matters now more than ever. Short form content, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reels. However, don't just clip your funny Twitch clips, throw it out there, and it's done for. Try and make content that will relate back to your stream. I made a video on this recently enough, but let me explain it just a tiny bit here in this video. I used to be a variety streamer, which means I played different games all the time on Twitch. So my game was always changing, hence my clips that I would get on my channel were always changing. So I would post a GTA 5 clip to TikTok. It might do really well and get 50,000 views. People come by my stream then because they've seen my dope GTA 5 clip, only for me to be playing Dark Souls. They didn't come for Dark Souls. They came for GTA 5. So they're just going to leave. I'm not saying that you're screwed if you're a variety streamer, but try have some sort of like constant to your content, if that makes sense. Maybe that's the way you're talking, the catchphrases you're using, the way it's edited, whatever. But try put some form of constant into that short video, that even if someone sees you do one thing, they came for you, not the game. So they'll gladly watch you do another thing. It's very hard to accomplish this, but if you get creative, you can get something really cool. For example, somebody who absolutely blown up through short form content lately is that Slater guy who does Warzone content, but he does the kid voice changer and makes himself sound like a kid. People are watching those clips because, yeah, he's cracked at Warzone. That's cool, but he's also doing something hilarious with the voice changer. That's his little niche. That's his constant. You'd watch him do that on Apex, Escape from Tarkov, any of those games. Hell, I'd even watch him do it in World of Warcraft. It's just funny. So what I'm saying is, if you're a variety streamer and you're making that content, try put something that is a regular thing in there that people can expect across your content. So that means that if they come from a clip that is a different game than what you're currently streaming, they're still likely to hang out. If you're somebody who plays just the one game exclusively, this isn't as big a problem with you because, you know, you're going to be making content all based around one game and then streaming that same game. However, same applies. Get creative with it. Try find your thing. Try find your niche. What can you do in that game that no one else can? Bonus point for this as well is TikTok Live. This is becoming the meta very, very quickly. To get this, you need to be doing live streams on TikTok just from your phone. But if you set your phone up and you're just chatting nonsense to your TikTok followers or to no one for like 25 minutes and do that twice in a month or something like that, you will most likely be invited to download the TikTok Live Studio, and they'll give you a stream key, meaning that you can actually stream your gameplay from your desktop or wherever, your console, to TikTok. This is something I've only had for about a week, but I've really already been like, yeah, this is the future. Don't go live 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are wasting your time. Instead of streaming for 12 hours and not growing at all, or only gaining 1 or 2 followers in that time, or even no followers at all, split that time in half and use the time that you still would have been live doing something more beneficial for your content. It's no secret that you don't really grow on Twitch when you're live unless you're lucky enough to get like a 10,000 person raid, and even then you're not guaranteed anything. If you learn to edit or learn to make TikToks, even by editing in something like Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve or whatever program, or even making them online on something like Streamladder, which is completely free and really easy to use, not only have you made a TikTok, you've made a TikTok, a YouTube short, a reel, and a clip that you can post to Twitter. You've now made 4 pieces of content that you can put across 4 different platforms and hit 4 different types of viewers. And now, instead of being seen by 1 or 2 people when you were still live, you've gained potentially hundreds of thousands of impressions simply by managing your time a little bit better. Spend your money wisely. Trust me, I know this better than anyone because I'm guilty of it. When you start streaming, you instantly want to buy the world. I need a DSLR. I need a stream deck. Acoustic paneling. I need more acoustic paneling. Having shiny stream gear is fantastic, and have the ability to, bleep out stuff is funny and all that kind of thing, and having the ability to change scenes on a push of a button and blah 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 is all fantastic. The only thing you need if you want to be a streamer and if you want to gain success on Twitch is something to play your games on or do your just chatting on, and a microphone. Everything else can come later. There is no point in you starting this journey, or potentially not even starting because you think you need all this stuff before you can start. There's no point you spending like 5-6 grand on all of this gear only for you to decide in 2 months, I'm bored of this, or I don't like it, or it's not working. Why don't I have 100,000 viewers? Build it up over time. And plus, you don't even need it. Look at someone like XQC. I mention this guy all the time in my videos because he's the perfect case study for this. He's the biggest streamer on Twitch, and the man uses a C920 webcam and a blue snowball mic. He just has what he needs. So don't be fooled by these posts you see on Reddit or on Instagram or Twitter of these crazy, insane setups with people with, cotton all over their ceiling. You don't need it. I'm someone who loves gear. I've collected quite a lot of gear over time, but however, a lot of the gear I had when I started Twitch, I had already from my job. I was a videographer, so I had cameras, I had lighting, I had all this stuff. Don't bankrupt yourself chasing a dream that you don't even know if you're going to enjoy yet. A $10,000 streaming room or streaming setup is still only as good as the streamer that's sitting in it, or in my case, standing in it, because I bought a standing desk. If you have a bit of money to spend on your Twitch stream at the start, spend it getting some good branding, like logos and design done for your stream. Not off some designer on the internet who's charging $3 for a design because you're going to get what you pay for, but find someone who you think could do this for you, or maybe you could learn to even do it yourself. If neither of those things are the options, the solution for that is today's sponsor, Placeit.net. Placeit.net is absolutely perfect for new streamers or content creators. Starting your stream, regardless of all the stuff I just talked about, can be really overwhelming, especially when you need panels, follower alerts, or raid alerts, or donation alerts, or all of those things, or even a whole overlay for your stream. It is daunting and it is very hard. That's why Placeit is awesome, because it makes these things so simple as well as affordable. Placeit is a website that you can use if you have absolutely zero design knowledge whatsoever. You simply go on there and browse through a whole load of different templates that you can then edit to be completely your own. Even have an entire gaming section dedicated to things like Twitch and YouTube gaming and a load of other stuff that you can use to your disposal. You can upload your own assets into them, or even use some of Placeit's ones and just design everything right then and there to make some amazing, amazing stuff. One thing I love that they do is like little Instagram stories that you can edit so that you can tell your followers on Instagram when you're live through this sick little animated story. It looks great. Placeit is so affordable, and genuinely, if you're struggling to start with this stuff, I could not recommend them more. They're part of the Envato marketplace, and I've been an avid Envato user for like 10 years, and it was a no-brainer when Placeit reached out for me, and that's why I've been partnered with them for well over a year now. Go check it out for yourself if you don't want to take my word for it. There's so much free stuff on the website as well, which is awesome. And if you do decide to make a purchase, use code X2Shoes when you're checking out so they know I sent you. Thanks to Placeit again for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to that video. When you first start creating content, if it's anything like my experience, you're not going to want to do anything other than create content. You will literally become addicted to creating content. I know people get sucked into things and they really want to do it all the time, but this can become unhealthy fast. I know you're excited about it and I know you're raging to get going and you just want to spend all your time setting up your stream and finding that cool logo or making your new follower alert or whatever. But like streaming in the morning and then 3 hours later being like, actually, I've nothing to do now. I can stream again. Don't do that. I know you have the energy for it now, but it will catch up on you. I promise. As I said earlier, being live doesn't equal success. It's just going to burn you out. Most people can't operate at that high energy level and still maintain a healthy, balanced lifestyle. If you go too far deep into this, your relationships will suffer, your friendships will suffer, your school or work can suffer as a result of you doing this too much. Remember, at the start, it is not your job. Hey, it might become your job and then it's a whole different kettle of fish. I used to do this as a job full time and I got out of it for this exact reason. I don't want to dampen anyone's spirits, but it is scary how much you can get sucked into the cycle of just always wanting to be online or always wanting to be creating or making something because you feel like you're not doing anything. So please look after yourself. Make sure you're getting enough sleep and you're eating well and getting away from the PC because all of those things will feed into your creative process and help you down the line. You can't operate doing this as a hobby, let alone a career, if you're staying up till gamer hours all the time, grinding. No, you're not. You're just playing games, hoping to hit a sick clip. I'm not trying to sound like a boomer here or like I'm telling you what to do, but trust me, I've been down this road and I know it doesn't end well. So look after yourselves. Learn chat etiquette. Spend time in other people's Twitch channels, seeing how they talk to their chat and how their chat talk back to them. See what emotes they use, see what alerts they have, see all of those things and use it as inspiration. You don't understand your target audience or your target demographic, it's very hard to create content for that. Now that's one side of it, but also in chat etiquette as well is learn what you can and can't do in someone's chat. Obviously, a lot of the people who watch these videos are streamers, and time again, I have people coming into my Twitch chat telling me that they're a streamer and basically spending the next 6 or 7 messages self-promoting themselves in my chat. That is useless and that is pointless and don't do it. Coming into someone's chat and saying things like, oh, no way, you stream Minecraft too? That's so crazy. I stream Minecraft. I'm just about to go live actually. See ya. I know you think people might think, wow, another small streamer. I'm going to go look at them. Nobody's going to follow you over because chat are wise to this type of thing and they'll just be like, cringe. And the streamer that you're doing it to is going to be like, rude. It's just not a good look for you, especially if you're trying to make connections in the space. That's also not networking as well. Self-promotion in other people's chats or in other people's discords or simply just spamming your link in a random place saying, hey, check me out, I'm live right now, bro. It's not going to make anyone check you out. People aren't mindless drones who will just go click a link simply because it's in a place, especially if it's somewhere where it's not meant to be. You don't know how many comments I have to clear out of my YouTube videos of people just dropping their Twitch link in my comments being like, yo, good video, I'm live now. Why would I click that? Why would anyone click that? However, making genuine connections with people with no ulterior motive in things like Discord or even in Twitch chats will absolutely add to your viewership. There's so many people who have met in my stream and all stream themselves and they all share an audience, but they're genuine friends. They didn't make this connection with the idea of like follow for follow in the back of their head or support for support. They just thought each other were cool people and the rest came after. That's how you network. Don't pigeonhole yourself. Maybe you're starting streaming this year and you're like, I'm going to be a Valorant streamer. My whole thing is going to be, I'm going to learn to play Valorant from the lowest rank all the way up to the highest rank. That's my thing. Every day I'm going to do that. 6 months in, a year in, 2 years in, you can change. Just because you start on one path does not mean you have to continue down that path, especially if you're getting bored. If you're still having fun and it's working for you, absolutely have at it. But don't be afraid to just change up your content and try something new at any point. I was a variety streamer for 2 years straight. However, a couple of months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm bored with this. I really want to try my hand at just playing this one game that I like. And now I play an exclusive game, only one game. I only make content around that one game off stream. And now my views are higher than ever. Don't be afraid to pivot and change. Just because you start something does not mean you have to finish it in that exact way. You are losing potential viewers sitting in a random category or in the just chatting category with the stream title testing. Don't test your gear while you're live. You know how many people come by your stream when you're live? Did you ever look at that number in your stream dashboard? Let's say that number is 500 people who just happen by your stream and literally the stream looks like this. Hello, test, test, test. That is 500 people now that will potentially never come back to your stream. Create a second Twitch channel and use that for testing. When you want to test something, go live on that channel and watch it on your phone or have it up on another monitor. Tell your mods about it and get them to give you feedback. But don't do it on your main channel, especially if you're on your way to affiliate. Don't harm your average viewership by doing these test streams. And finally, just do it. Just go live. Stop making excuses. Just go live if you can. So many people do not do this. Everyone's like, I'm starting my stream in February when I get my new this, or I'm starting my stream in January 2027 because I'm actually waiting for my Go XLR to arrive. If you have the means to go live, just go live. You keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, you'll never start. You could be potentially denying yourself hours of fun by simply just putting it back and back and back. Trust me, I know it's daunting. It's a lot easier for some people to hit the go live button than it is some other people. But the only way you're going to shed that nervousness or that anxiety around doing it is by just doing it and realizing, hang on a minute, this is actually a lot of fun. On the flip side, maybe you realize, yeah, you know what, this isn't for me, and that's completely okay too. But you gave it the old college try, and that's all that matters. And finally, there is no shortcut to Twitch growth. There's absolutely no shortcut to it. There's no thing you can do, no button you can click, no service you can pay for that's going to gain you 1,000 viewers. It comes from hard work, a lot of time, a little bit of luck, and perseverance and commitment. You'll get there if you get there. But if you want some more advice, there's some more things you can do to help growing. I have a whole channel dedicated to this. If it's your first time in this channel, I make videos like this every single week, and some of them I think are pretty helpful. So if you enjoyed today's video, there's 100 more just like it on my channel. So feel free to check them out and subscribe if you liked it. It would mean the world to me. Please leave a like on this video if you thought it was informative. They really do help. When I end today's video by firstly apologizing. I get very passionate about this kind of thing. I don't mean to tell you what to do. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and always put your own spin on things. What worked for me may not always work for you. Best of luck in all of your journeys. I hope you all do amazing. I hope to see you on Twitch soon. Peace out.
All right, and that was just a real quick, nice and quick, but that was just a video just explaining, about uh tips on how to stream, how to start your stream, how to put your audience, what to do, what not to. And some things, it's a few things that I do want to point out in that video that I highly agree. So testing, right? When you're testing your stream, you definitely want to be able to test your stream with like by itself. So if you need to have a second channel that's just strictly for your testing, right? Because the last thing you want to do is you want to be able to go live and your mic isn't connected right, or your camera isn't working, or you forgot to take the cover off, yeah, or something like that. You do not want to do. So definitely always test your stream. And if you do borrow, if you do borrow something from another creator, right? You're just highly inspired by the creator and it sounds similar, make sure that that is clearly stated, right? Because the last thing you want to do is be treated as a stiller content, something like that. You don't want that. So just make it clear that, hey, I'm just, highly inspired by this person, so I'm just using it, because I'm highly inspired, this, that, and the third. Just make that clear. And yeah, everything else he ought to say in the video is right, right? Like the tips and the steps that he talked about, you definitely want to follow. And if you want to watch more video of his on the streets in the meantime, like after this last weekend, whatever, his channel is Tuition. It's X Tuitions, right? And he have more videos explaining, what to do, what not to do in this streaming world. So let's get back to this PowerPoint. Here. So unique route, right? So let's say you want to go the unique route of building your community, right? First thing, which is building your community, right? So think of the other big time streamers out there, Castles, the Ninjas, the Pokemans, as well, right? They have a community, right? When they do a pop-up somewhere, it's huge. Everybody is there, right? All their community is there and their community is huge. So you always want to have that back in the community because those will be the people for day ones. Those will be the people that's going to keep you going with your training career, right? You want to have your community because if anything happens, you want those to be your end all be all. Work the crowd, right? You want to work the crowd, right? How many of you all watch the Castle next stream? I know right now he's doing like that 24/7, the 24/7 stream right now. I mean, he's working the crowd, right? He's inviting all these different celebrities, Kodak Black and Quavo and all these different artists, on his streams, and they working the crowd, right? You also want to keep your content fresh, right? You don't want to have to rely on recycling content. You want to keep your content fresh, right? You want to always have something new that people are always going to be interested in. You also want to learn from the best. So if you have to take it or borrow whatever you want to call it from another big time streamer, right? Learn from the best. Learn from Ninja. Learn from Kyle. Learn from PewDiePie. Learn from Pokemon. Learn from whoever. You always want to take from the best, right? That's what everybody does. They take from the best, they put their own spin on it, and then they put it out to the world. And of course, you build it is going to take time. Build over time. It's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight thing like Sushi says in the video. This is something that's going to take a long time to process, right? So it doesn't matter if after 2 weeks you have 100 subscribers, you have 200 subscribers, right? You're building because it's people out here that have been doing it for years, for months, for years, and they only have like 50 subscribers, right? So take whatever subscribers you have as a blessing and just use that to motivate you to keep on going. Because sooner or later you're gonna look up and you're gonna have 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers, right? And that's all your hard work right there. You have at least 10,000 people that are subscribed to you that's going to watch you, even if it's the whole screen or the whole stream or probably like 10 or 30 minutes of stream, they're going to watch you. And also just setting your tags. That's a very important thing, right? Um, like me. So if I had a Twitch channel, my tag would probably be like tech because I like tech. I read tech. Be anime because I like watching certain anime. It would be cars, automobiles, video games, right? And then it would be things outside that box that connects to that, right? What about automobiles, right? Certain engines, certain types of cars like tuners or box Chevys or something like that. Tech. What about tech? Well, computers, handheld computers, fixing things, making Linux boxes, these are tags that you need to add on to your channel when you go live, right? Because you want to be able to cast the widest that you possibly can in order to get the subscribers that you want to come to your channel. And then just how to grow your audience, right? So you build your audience, you build your community, but how do you grow it? How do you make it bigger? Because just because you got those 10,000 followers doesn't mean that you're done. You're always working to build that audience, right? So things like define your niche. Like, what is your niche in streaming, right? What is your niche, right? I know what mine would be. Mine would be probably automobile, right? Like fixing up cars, right? And doing crazy engine swaps, right? But what would be your niche though? Setting goals. What goal right? It's the streamer. I forgot his name at the moment, but he set goal on building his channel, right? He, told his stream, told the channel like, "Hey, I want to hit this mark before a certain time," and he came close, right? He came close to having this subscriber count before a certain time, but he didn't hit, and that's fine. But he set a goal out, right? So, what would be your goal when you're trying to grow your audience, right? These are things that you need to ask yourself. Stream consistent, right? Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. You always need to stream consistent. But that is a big thing. Even when you're building your audience, even when you're growing your audience, that's always a big thing. You want to always stream consistent, right? Be interactive, of course, with your stream, with your audience. We talked about that already. Promoting your stream. Promoting your stream is probably going to be one of the biggest things that you need to understand and clear, right? Promoting your stream. TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reel are probably the three biggest social media promoting tools that you see. Everybody watches them right there. Bite-sized content, get addicted to it. I know there's been times I've been at home, I sit in my chair, and I'm on YouTube Shorts just scrolling, and it's been 30 minutes already, right? So YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reel are the three biggest promotion tools, right? Once you build your stream team up, right? Once you build your team up, you have an editor. You're going to want your editor to, as you're streaming, you want your editor to take parts of your stream and put it on TikTok, to put it on Instagram, right? To put it on YouTube Shorts, right? And be like, hey, live now or live at this time. Put your schedule in the caption, whatever, because that is going to be very, very, very effective. Host other streamers, right? Do as you do as someone did for you, right? Someone probably going to host your stream, right? Um, they're going to host your stream. They're going to tell their subscribers like, hey, let's go watch this stream, right? So you can build your audience, right? Once you have enough cachet, once you build big enough audience, you want to do the same exact thing. You want to host other streamers, right? Because that shows your goodwill to your streamers, to your community, and to other communities, right? So always keep that in mind. And of course, attend meetups, right? So Comic Con, DreamCon, or TwitchCon, all these other streaming cons, you want to always go to those, right? You want to network. You also want to see your community, you want to see your fans, right? Attend these meetups as much as you can, right? Maybe as you get older and you get bigger, you can slow down, go into all the cons, right? You can go to a select few that you want to choose. That's fine. But when you first starting off, you're gonna kind of have to go to, if not all, most of these meetups, most of these cons, right? And when you do go to these cons, host your own personal meetup with your own community, right? That's something that's very important to help grow your audience. And then, of course, you want to host giveaways, right? So think Mr. Beast, you want to host giveaways, you want to do things like that, right? Because it shows that you care about your community, you want to your subscribers, your community, and you want to do something different. You want to do something nice for them. I do have a video. Give me 1 second. One second. All right, so this video I'm going to play now is pretty much a giveaway tutorial. It's talking about giveaways and how to set it up. It's not as long as the last video. It's kind of quick, 7 minutes. So we play the tutorial, and then we'll talk.
Or stream. It can be anything you want to give away, like a game key, or a keyboard, or even feedbacks. Everyone their own thing. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up a giveaway with Stream Elements. Before I'm going to tell you how to set up a giveaway with Stream Elements, I stream on Twitch on twitch.tv/stream. So hop in and come say hi. And don't forget to stream smarter, not harder. Okay, so we're gonna go to streamelements.com and we're gonna log in with our Twitch, or if you've done that already, we go to our dashboard. Then here on the left, we're gonna go to loyalty and giveaways. All right, this is where we can set up a giveaway. You can see the giveaways I've done before, and here on the left, we can name it. For example, if you want to give away a game, for example, Starfield giveaway, win a Steam key for Starfield. You can't actually win a Starfield game key here, okay? This is just for a tutorial. Now here we can set an image. We can choose one. I'm just gonna select Temtem here, and we're just gonna imagine that is Starfield, but you can just upload an image by going to upload here and dragging one in, or click select files and selecting one. So you could just download an image of the internet and put it in there. But I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna use this Temtem one. So here we have a couple of options for the giveaway. I like to give everyone their first ticket for free. This means that they don't need to spend any loyalty points that they earn with Stream Elements to be able to join this giveaway. If you do not do that, people need to pay the cost you're going to set here to join with the first ticket as well. You can send a confirmation via the chat while they have bought a ticket, which makes them know that they've actually entered, which is a good idea to do. And you can make it subscriber only, which means that only subscribers of your Twitch channel can join this giveaway. The thing about that, though, is you need to be careful, because in some countries, it's not allowed to do this in a sense, as you can pay to join a giveaway, and because you're only doing it for subscribers, you're only doing it for people that pay. So be aware of that there is some gray area in the law there. All right, then the ticket cost. How many loyalty points does it cost after the first ticket, or if you haven't ticked this, just how many points does it cost to join this giveaway? I like to keep it low, so let's just say 5 points. The maximum amount of tickets one user can buy is 10 right now, so they can spend 45 points, because the first one is free, or like this, 50, to join with 10 tickets. They have 10 chances that way. They can also decide to buy one ticket with a free ticket, or just with 5 points like this, to have one chance instead. Now here you can also give your subscribers a little bit more luck. They don't have special treatment if this is all the way to the left, but you can give them twice as many chances, or 3 times, or 4 times, all the way up to 10 times more chance to win. So if you have 2 tickets, one from a subscriber and one from somebody else that not subscribed, this way they both have 50% chance. Now this way, it's already not 50% anymore. Now this way, the non-subscriber almost has no chance to win in a sense. Let's put it on no special treatment, and I'm gonna create and start. All right, here we can see how long the giveaway is running, how many people have entered, and the tickets purchased. You can click on the public page here. This is what people see where people can buy tickets. So here they can put in how many they want, and they can see how many sweaters that's going to cost. 20 sweaters, because the first one was free, right? And then they can buy tickets by clicking on this. And here they can see how many people have entered and how many tickets in total there have been bought. We'll also see the username and the amount of tickets coming in here. I recommend sharing the link to this page in your chat to make it easy for people to join. In my Twitch chat here, now we see that Stream Elements also said a giveaway has started for Starfield giveaway. Tickets tend to buy 10 tickets. Tickets cost 5 sweaters. So you can also do exclamation mark ticket space in the amount of tickets you want to buy. It could be that you run into some problems, and if you do the exclamation mark ticket, it won't work. What you need to do then is you need to go to chatbot, chat commands, and then here search. You can either Control F or you can just scroll through, but search and then type ticket. And here we see enter, buy tickets for a giveaway. Make sure that this is on. If this is off, if this is ticked off, you can see that this is the ticket command. You can also do exclamation mark enter instead of ticket. If this is off, the bot won't react on the people buying tickets in your chat. So make sure that you do that. Now, I asked some friends to join. I tried myself as well just to see if I would join then, but apparently you just can't join your own giveaway, which makes sense, but I had to try. And we see Kitchen Control here has got 3 tickets now, bought 3 tickets. Palladium got 4 tickets. And Stream Elements is confirming that because we had that tick on, right? And Tom, he can't type, but it's fine. He bought 1 ticket anyway. When everybody's in, or you're like, well, we're okay, we can close the giveaway right here. And then we can draw a winner. Draw a winner. Now Kitchen Control won. And we can either draw another winner and then Palladium also won. And then we mark it as complete. Mark it as complete. And now we know that these 2 are the winners. We know who has joined and stuff like that. This star means that they are a subscriber, which means that if you have the subscriber lock on, they will get extra chance, right? Do giveaways actually grow your Twitch stream? In one way they do, because new people are finding your Twitch stream. However, I feel like there's a lot of people that just go over streams trying to find free games. These people aren't interested in seeing your content, but they are interested in finding games to win, right? So these people won't watch your stream unless you do giveaways all the time. What I've done is that people can get these points that you can also spend on these tickets, right? But you get these points and they can spend them in my shop, my sweater shop. That's how I call it. But it's actually a game shop. This is my game shop. And as you can see, here it is a money icon, but these are the points. We call them sweater points because my name actually means sweater in Dutch. And people can actually buy these games. They can just redeem it. I've got a lot on here. There's a lot of games they can redeem. I usually get more every now and then. And then, for example, they like this game or Beholder 2. I like Beholder 2. And then they can spend their points and just redeem it. And they immediately get a Steam key. And then they can redeem it on Steam. I think this is a way better way to reward your viewers because this way people need to watch your stream to be able to buy these games instead of being able to just randomly get one even though they've never seen your stream before. If you want to know how to set up this store, make sure to check out this video because I explained how to set this up in there. I think that's a way better idea than just doing game giveaways. However, it can be fun for an event stream to do game giveaways. I do them every now and then through the giveaway system. Sometimes it's also fun to be able to give away a name in a game. For example, if you can rename a character, that you just do a giveaway.
All right, that's pretty much ended that. But yeah, so pretty much, giveaways, they can help grow a channel, but for the most part, you're not looking to grow a channel with giveaway. You're looking to give back into your community. What are some of the things that you would have in a giveaway? Like, think about that. So what would be some of the things you want to give away in a giveaway? Be a video game. It can be, some merch. It can be a keyboard. It can be, custom keyboard and mouse. These, it can be a video game console, right? These are things that you want to kind of take in stock when you're hosting games. Real quick before we move on to the next lesson, what did we learn in this? Right? It's how to build your audience and how to grow your audience. Right? You want to do things like, make your community be seen and heard. You want to do things like, have a, give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Right, you want to create an memorable brand. You want to, rely on social media for promotion. Also to stay up to date on the new trends in the video game. want to do things like stay up to date. We said it already. Be consistent with your streaming schedule. You want to interact with your audience, and you want to do things like create Discord channels. It's on. And then we also went over how to grow your audience, which is set goals, right? You want to find your niche, you want to be interacting with your, of course, promote your stream, post other streams, and send videos. These are things that we learned in this class. Now, our next lecture, give me 1 second. Is how to monetize streams, right? How can you monetize streams, right? So you've done everything except your channel. You know, you understand what your genre is going to be. You know understand how to build your audience, right? You build your audience, you're growing your audience. Now, you know, how do you monetize? How do you get paid for putting all this time? There's a couple ways, three ways actually to do this. Oh, it's a contract, right? Signing the contract. I'm pretty sure you all went over contracts with Elaine in your legal class on Mondays, on Tuesdays. But contracts, right? You want to have a contract that you want to sign to make sure that you know you and whoever you're signing with know the terms of your contracts and you get paid a certain way. So of course you always want to have a lawyer look over your contracts, right? Sponsorships, right? Sponsorships is probably the thing that you see on, if not most, but all streamers, right? They have sponsorships, right? Whether that's like a Gatorade, Powerade, Muscle Milk, Hello Fresh, Better Health, things of that nature. You always see sponsorship deals. And of course, audience gifts, right? Audience gift is low key, honestly, one of the most ways that a lot of you can get paid, right? I, for example, I love wrestling. So I listen to a wrestling podcast. He had a live stream that he do on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And he makes so much money on audience gifts through super chats that it's ridiculous, right? It's pretty much his main job. And his main job is really good job that he has. And he's like, hey, if I wanted to, because of your audience, you know, because of your super chat gifts and your donations, I can make this my main job, but it's not. So let's talk about a contract. So what is a contract, right? So how do you, you know, you get signed to a 10 organizational platform? Uh, how do you get these opportunities, right? You get endorsement deals. So think of Better Health, think of HelloFresh, right? How many YouTube videos or how many live streams have you seen where they talk about Better Health, HelloFresh with like, hey, you know, y'all should check out HelloFresh or whatever they still were going to be, or hey, you know, mental health is a real big thing. Check out Better Health. Uh, you know, things like that, you know, or you even see things like G Fuel, talk about G Fuel, those are all sponsorship. How these sponsorship deals works is this. You sign a deal for a limited amount of time, maybe a 3 month deal, maybe a 6 month deal. Within them 3 or 6 months, you have to promote their product. In exchange for you promoting their product, they will give you some more than likely an upfront payment cost, right? It may be a couple thousand, it may be 5,000 or whatever, or it may be a couple thousand in some of their product merchandise you had to keep. Those are usually how endorsement deals work, right? And you want to make sure to sign the contract, right? You don't want to just agree to everything and you start doing ahead of time. No, you don't promote their product until that contract is signed, right? And remember, Ms. Elaine in your class, she covered this, right? You always want to make sure that you and the people that you're working with sign that contract. So no no shady business going on. Sponsorships, right? This is probably another important way and can be the right for the channel, right? So sponsorship is another important way of monetizing your stream. In some cases, it can be the lifeblood of your channel. In other ways, it can be an addition. Sponsorship deals can include money, but also products from brands that you deal with. So think of like PDP, they make controllers and keyboards and headphones. Think of Razer, the same thing. They also make laptops and other tech. And think of something like HelloFresh, right? Where they always promoting like, hey, I'm going to ship this box to your house. The food is already seasoned and portioned off. Just put it in the microwave in the oven for this amount of time and boom, dinner is done, right? So these are things you want to, you know, take into account of, right? You can also have things like G Fuel, Gatorade, Powerade, muscle milk, or whatever, right? They're always going to try to put things like sports drinks or game drinks, quote unquote, push onto streams, right? Because they think that's what streams wants. Like Doritos, also Frito Lay. These are sponsorship deals that can be business, right? They can be the life, or honestly, of your channel. Choose to go that route. We have a video I am going to play talking about this, right? It's talking about this and just talking about how do you get sponsorship deals? How do you get endorsement deals? What's the difference and what's the best way to go about it? So let me go ahead and just start the video, watch it.
What's up, guys? Harris here. I wanted
1 second.
to talk to you about something really important and really kind of hard to talk about today, and that's sponsorships. And not just the standard sponsorship video that you see a lot of, like, oh, get your elevator pitch ready, network as much as you can, blah, 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 which are usually good, but they're very surface level. And I would just like to get into more of the nitty gritty of sponsorships and actually talk about how they work and things you need to look out for when you should start looking for sponsorships. The stuff that really you can only give advice on if you're very experienced in the area. And unfortunately, on Twitch, there's not a lot of people who have extensive experience with working with brands or sponsors. And really, the only streamers on like Twitch or Mixer who are doing these large sponsorships or brand deals are either the top 20 to 30 streamers who then, of course, aren't making videos about them afterwards. Two, people who are signed to organizations like pro players who then, of course, aren't actually making a single dollar off of them anyway. And then people like me who are have an extensive history of social media and came from other platforms like YouTube or Instagram, where brand deals are much more prevalent and have a lot more history, and then moved over to Twitch. So fortunately, that's the kind of experience that I can share. I've worked with well, I'll just put logos on the screen. This is every company I can think of that I've worked with over the past 5 years. And there are just a lot of things that you should know before heavily pursuing sponsorships or brand deals. And so I view this video as super important, because this isn't a video about setting up your OBS, getting rid of some dropped frames, or setting up your light just right. This is about turning your stream into a business. This is about turning this into a career and actually making money. And some of the mistakes that a lot of streamers make that end up sometimes being career breaking. It's important that you have an understanding of how much a streamer is making for having a tiny little logo underneath his camera during his stream. And by the way, spoiler, more times than not, it's absolutely nothing. By the way, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday evening on Twitch. Link to that down in the description below. Also, if you find this helpful, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. I've had the incredible experience over the past 5 years of being a full-time content creator, of working with some of the top name brands. And some of these experiences were absolutely incredible, and some of them were nightmares, and I will never want to work with those brands again. Some of these were simple one-off brand deals. Some of them were longer-term sponsorships. These deals were the lifeblood of our careers because we were running a music channel and we weren't able to monetize anything. Nope. 22 million views, and Warner Brothers took every single penny. And called and threatened legal action, by the way. They made Kenji cry. Not a fan. But these brand deals made up almost 100% of our income. So I would like to share with you guys a little bit more about how these work, some do's and don'ts of sponsorships, and of course, how you should treat your channel to best prep yourself for turning it into a career in the future. First off, you guys came into the video because the word sponsorship was in the title, and now I'm talking about brand deals. Let's talk about the two words and what they mean. They are technically pretty interchangeable, but generally in the industry, when someone says brand deal, they're talking about a one-time exchange deal. The brand gives you money and or a product. You, in return, advertise said product on your channel, and yeah, you're pretty much done. You've seen a handful of these on this channel, and even a couple of videos throughout the rest of this month are going to have these kind of brand deals on them. The word sponsorship, however, is often used when you're talking about a long-term contract. You rep the brand for a number of months or years, whether it's putting their logo on your stream or like them using your likeness on their website. You basically become integrated with the brand. These aren't as cut and dry as the others, and even though they're longer, they often pay less, and because the deliverables aren't as clear, they can can often get a little sketchy. It's often just a way for a company to brand your channel, much like the way a rancher brands his cattle. But for some reason, there's kind of this weird perspective among small streamers and sometimes larger streamers too, that if you have sponsors, you're legit. This mindset can actually be a huge hindrance to streamers. And let me explain why. And I'm not just talking about one of those like, oh, your mindset is in the wrong place kind of hindrances. This causes streamers to make poor decisions with their brand. This makes poor decisions with their money. This causes them to make poor decisions with their time. You guys know, if you've been following the channel for a while, I did a video a while back on how to approach brands and kind of what sponsors want to hear from you when you approach them. I did a second video then on analyzing some big gaming brands affiliate programs and how to spot predatory ones. Consider this video like the third installment of the sponsorship series, and one, unfortunately, that a lot of you guys are going to click away from because I am going to be saying some things that you don't want to hear. But it's about why you should stop trying to get sponsors for now, while you're at home. There's a time and a place for everything. And when you're at gaming events, you should approach every sponsor possible, even the ones you don't want to work with. But for now, stop. And just to put some validation behind that, so you know I'm not just lying to you, so I get to keep all the sponsors for myself. In the past 5 years of doing what I do, I have reached out to fewer than 5 sponsors. I just don't do it. There's no reason to do it. Let's talk about how they work. Before a sponsorship contract is written up, an evaluation of your brand value is done. The brand will look at the reach you have on your channel and on your socials, and not just the number of followers. In fact, that's probably one of the least important ones on there. They will look at the engagement and the influence that you have with your audience. So, for example, the amount of likes and follows that you get on your tweets, or how fast you are growing, or what is the reason that people follow you. Do they just think you're entertaining, or do they actually respect your opinion on a topic? If you'll let me be completely transparent with my business here, one of the big things that I share with brands is my Amazon associate numbers, how much actual merchandise I sell via the links in the description of the videos, because that gives the brand a very real number of how my videos translate into sales. So by the way, everybody who's purchased anything from a link, thank you. And by the way, I do plan on being incredibly transparent in this video, if you're okay with that. Not just giving you theoretical answers of how this works, but actually giving you real numbers of what I work with. I feel like that would actually help you understand what you should look for and what you should expect. So the brand will come to you with an offer. If you put an ad in your video for our product, we will pay you this amount. That number will always be less than what you're worth every time. It's not anything personal. It's just the way business works. Now, if you have great representation, like an agent, the brand will come to you and say, hey, we want to pay you $2,000 for this brand integration. The agent will come back and say, no. Harris knows what he's worth, and his video is worth $4,000. And they'll go back and forth until they finally settle on $3,000, which is probably the most accurate representation of what it's worth. And by the way, just to kind of pull the curtain off of this for a little bit, I probably started doing brand deals on this channel at about 50,000 subscribers, and to do a, let's say, 1 minute integration to the beginning of a video, I would probably get paid anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. Now that the channel is above 100,000 subscribers, a more realistic number of what we generally negotiate is probably between $3,000 and $6,000. Now, keep in mind that this channel has an incredibly high engagement rate. We get a lot of views and likes and comments compared to our number of subscribers. Not to mention the content on this channel is super brandable. So compare that to someone who's maybe doing gaming videos on their YouTube channel and has 100,000 subscribers. They're probably doing brand deals for anywhere from $500 to $1,500. But this also allows me to be incredibly picky with sponsors on my channel, and I can say no to any kind of sponsors that would either hurt the channel or would hurt you. Now, I've shared a lot of information similar to this in videos before, and since then I've gotten numerous questions about how do I get sponsors? How do I get an agent? The point of me resharing this information with actual numbers is to drive a point. Until your channel has actual value in the market, you will not make any money off of these. The mistake streamers make is they think that having sponsors legitimizes your channel, but all that's doing is you're putting the cart before the horse. The only way you're going to get any kind of return from any of these sponsors is if you've already put in the work, you've created the content, and you've built an audience before you try to get the sponsors. I can promise you that having a G Fuel logo on your stream will, 1, not get you any more viewers, and 2, all you're going to get is a tiny percentage off of G Fuel, which then you're going to use to buy more G Fuel than you would have bought otherwise, costing you more money. Do you see the marketing scheme here? It can actually get worse too. Let's say you do sign one of these contracts and then you actually do blow up and you have value in the market. Oftentimes you're signed to a long-term commitment and you're restricted from working with any of those companies' competitors. So when Razer Respawn reaches out to you, you have to say, nope, sorry, I'm signed with G Fuel, not making any money. By the way, this isn't like an anti-G Fuel thing. I'm just using them as an example because everybody puts G Fuel on their stream, and I can guarantee you 99.9% of these streamers are not getting paid a dime. The only time you'll actually get something out of a brand sponsorship that you sign early on like this is if it's one, a brand that you really love and you want to be committed to, and two, it's one of those affiliate type programs that as you grow, the rewards grow as well and you grow with them. And you know, there are some companies that do some really cool let's grow together kind of programs. But there is actually one more really large detriment that comes with reaching out to sponsors early. There is a real issue here, and I want you to seriously think and consider this. Sponsorships are distracting. They are a distraction from the real focus that you need to have. Right now, unless you're like a top tier player in a game or a pro, the only real way to grow on live streaming platforms is to create content outside the platform on more discoverable platforms and then bring that audience in. And for new streamers, that's an incredibly overwhelming thought, especially if you don't know how to edit content and you don't want to learn. And the idea that if you just got a sponsor, it would legitimize you and it would help you grow, like some affiliate programs would have you believe, is a massive distraction and an excuse not to do the important things that you need to be doing. Real talk, guys, you only have a certain amount of hours in the day, and you only have a certain amount of bandwidth that your brain can focus on in any of those given hours. If you're spending all of your time grinding Twitch or Mixer, hoping to get that sponsorship that will one day make you big, you're going to spend years grinding to eventually turn around and realize you wasted a lot of time. Focus on the content. Focus on learning how to create content, and then focus on learning how to improve that content. Create things that build your value in the market rather than spending your time trying to strike deals before you have any value to offer them in return. All right, let's end this video with some do's and don'ts. Do approach every brand when you go to an event. Ask for their social media manager. Nail down your pitch. Figure out how to best sell yourself. It's a great practice opportunity to learn to be more professional in the industry. Don't spend any of your time at home trying to email and get sponsors. Instead, do spend your time learning to create good content and consume content. By the way, you wouldn't believe how many hours a day I watch YouTube and Twitch analyzing these streamers and content creators, figuring out what makes a content creator good, what I can emulate and apply to my own content. If you want to be in the industry, you have to learn the industry. Don't try to go out and get an agent until you are large enough to actually make good deals. Agents don't magically make great sponsorships appear out of midair, and good agents only make money if you make money. Chances are if someone's willing to represent you before you offer a lot of value to the market, they're probably trying to rip you off. They're probably going to ask for a fee up front and a monthly fee. They're just taking your money. Look, here's my general rule of thumb. You'll know when you're ready to start working with sponsors when sponsors start reaching out to you. You'll know when you're ready to get an agent when agents start reaching out to you. I've worked with 3 major agencies in my time as a full-time content creator, and I didn't reach out to any of them. I focused on the content and they came to me. And I hope you found this helpful. If you do have any further questions on this, again, you can jump into my stream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do a lot of just chatting, answering a lot of these kinds of questions. Link again down in the description below. Also, we do have a massive community on Discord. Link to that down in the description below. It is full of streamers trying to turn this into a career. Find some people you can talk to. And as always, happy streaming.
You were fighting again? Oh, Harris, you're crazy. Nice work.
So, these are other ways that you can get sponsorships from brands, right? They're very important, right? So, number one thing that he said is that you don't go yourself looking for brand deals and sponsorships, right? What you want to do is you want that stuff to come to you. So you want to work on your craft, you want to continue building your continue building, and those sponsorship brand deals will come to you, right? Think about it, right? They're gonna come to you because they want to hop on that train. They want to hop on, you know, your channel and get as much promotion that they can possibly get because it would be cheaper for them to just pay you to promote their product, right? Think about it. They want to pay you to promote G Fuel. They want to pay you to promote better health. They want to pay you to promote raisins. It's cheaper. Instead of them going to hire a PR firm, which they probably already going to do already, it's going to be a tenth of the cost to just come to you live streaming and pay you all to go ahead and do product placement. Talk about how good their product is, this, that, and the third. So I'm gonna get back to it. Audience gifts, right? This is the last slide. Audience gifts, right? Audience gifts, like donations are a great way to monetize your stream, but it also shows that you have support with your community. Remember that there are donations from your fans/subscribers, and that any amount is great. The donations can come from plenty of avenues, from super chat donations to PO box mail deliveries. So talk for a minute while I play this video. Audience gifts with donations very important. Right? For some streamers, depending on what they do, this is the lifeblood of their monetized stream. This is how they get money. Period. Right. This is what they use in order to keep the channel running, to pay for new equipment, to pay for money in their pocket, to pay for their stream team, whatever. Right. It's audience gifts. So when you get donations from your subscribers, it is very, very, very important that you all are always grateful, right? I have seen few streams where the streamer, have been horrible to their subscribers, right? Oh, y'all could do better. Y'all can do this. Y'all can do that. And that's horrible. You do not want to have that type of attitude when you are receiving audience gifts, right? Super chat, right? Any amount that you get is great. I don't care if it's $1, $2, $5, whatever. It's great, and all that stuff can add up. Also, it's not just money. They can also send things to your PO mailbox, right? Then that's one thing I should have also said beforehand. Set up a PO box. You want to set up a PO box so you can have an address that you can give to your fans, but they can mail things to you, right? I have seen people mail, shirts, rare video games to just play, test out, whatever, to send back, things like that, right? So having a PO box is very important, right? Because your fans can have a way to send you stuff to show them how grateful they are that you are streaming, right? But yes, remember that any amount is great. I do have another video that I'm going to play, probably the last one for the day. And then we're just going to just talk, and then I have a song for you all to do, and then that'll be the end of the class. Let's watch this last video.
In this video, I'm showing you how to set.
And this video is pretty fast. Pretty much all this video is about is how do you set up a donation box on your channel, right? How do you set that up, right? And this is going to be very important because next week we're going to go over how do you set up OBS, how do you set up OBS, and how do you set up the effects on your channel, right? How do you set up overlays? How do you make sure everything is running correctly, right? So that's going to be next week. But this is going to be very important because you definitely want to know how to set up your donation box. It's like a 2-minute video, so it's not going to be as long. But yes.
Set up donations on Twitch. If you're new to the channel, please go down below and consider subscribing to the channel. And once you've done that, please go down below and consider leaving a like as well. And please do watch this video right until the end to the full steps so you guys go and get donations on Twitch and have a full page for that. So without any further ado, let's go and get into this. I'm now on Twitch, as you can see, and let's go and continue with this video. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're on your Twitch channel and you're fully logged in. Then what you want to do is go to a new tab. So I've got my new Google page here. And all we're going to do is simply go and search for something called Streamlabs. But do keep watching as I'm showing you a full guide within Streamlabs as well. Then make sure you come to streamlabs.com and wait for this to load. Then all you want to do is come to the upper right where it says log in. So click here. And then it's going to go and give us a few different ways to log in. We've got Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and a few others down here. So because we're doing this for Twitch, I'm just going to log in using my Twitch account. So click continue with Twitch. And as we're already logged into Twitch, it's going to automatically detect this, but we can go and change account here if you like. You've got to authorize Streamlabs to do all of this stuff here. So I'm going to go and do so. So I'm going to click authorize and then wait for this to load. And as you can see, it's now taking us to our Streamlabs dashboard. So here it's going to go and show us any donations we've had, the revenue, the followers, and our subscriptions. But to go and actually get the donation, all you want to do is come to the bottom left, scroll down a bit maybe, and come to account, and then come to settings. Once you're in settings, and as you can see here, then once you're here, it's going to go and show you your tipping page where viewers can send you donations. So that's our page here. But the first thing we've got to do is go and connect payment methods. So I'm going to go and use PayPal for now. So I'm going to click here. Then all you need to do is go and enter your PayPal email. So I'm going to go and enter mine in now. Then once you've done so, go and click submit, and then it's going to go and take a minute to load, and there we go. Go and check out our tipping page. So we'll click here and take a minute to load, and here we go. So this is what it looks like. You can go and customize it if you'd like. You can click customize here, and you can go and change it however you'd like. But I'm just going to go and copy this for now. So I'm going to right click on it, and then go and click copy link address, and then come back to Twitch. Here we are. And all you want to do is go and click on customize channel. Then it's going to take us to our dashboard, and let's go and add a link down here. So under social links, just name this donate, and then we could go and paste the link in here and go and click add just like so. And then in our bio as well. So I type this in my bio, and then I'm going to go and click save changes, and boom, and we've added the social link as well. So now if we come back to our channel and I go and refresh this just here, it's going to take a minute to load, and boom, here we go. So we've got our link in our bio, and we've also got it in our social links as well. So someone can go and click on it, and they can go and donate if they would like. If you found this video useful, please go down below and consider subscribing. Leave a like for more.
Well, that's pretty much it for that video and all the rest of the video for class. But I just wanted to show you how to split that up, because super chat donations, audience gifts are very important things. So, what I want you to do now is I want you to think of brand deals, endorsement deals that you want to have for your channel. What type of channel you be setting up, right? What type of Twitch channel you be setting up? What's your genre? What's your audience? And then I want you to think about what endorsement deals, what brand deals would you want? Are you picky? Right? Is there certain things that you don't want to have on your channel? Or are you, if they offer, I'm going to take, right? So what I want you to do for the next, let's say 20 minutes. Next 20 minutes is I want you to give me 3 brand endorsement deals that you want to have on your channel, that you want to represent you. And then at the end of 20 minutes, I'm going to pick a couple of you all to tell me what endorsement deals, what brand deals you pick, and so give me like 20 minutes to go ahead and just, do some research, and then I'll get that to you on. Go ahead and get started. So, use Google, look at these things like, write it down, right? Razor. Yeah, there we go. We represent well, it's not all of you. So, the people that have power, that have Nike, it's people that do work with certain video games. That's out like, Amory came out a lot, and you got him go, scholarship deals for a couple months. These are just simple. So, just do your research on Google, look at things that people get, of course, right? Specifically why I should just go home, put an endorsement slash live streamers. It's okay, of course. The United States pick 3, I can get that taken off. I pick those 30 or 3. I pick. Hmm. Just do some research first, like go over what you want to choose, what you want to do, and then like 3:34, I'll get back to you on the next one. You can say why. About 5 more minutes left, and then we'll go ahead and use it and wrap up. All right. Let's start putting anything fast. So, like, what are 3 brand deals you would pick for your channel? Why?
First off, I used to love Amazon because one has my attitude and it's very popular amongst dead people.
Okay.
That's one. Two, Jordans.
Hmm.
Jordans.
Okay. Jordan Brand. Okay.
And three, I went with
Okay. Why Jordan Brand?
Jordan means fly. There's a long history.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the popular flag. Using this
Okay. And why McDonald's?
um, because
Okay.
most of them, but most of them, around
I'm right there. I'm looking for a specific word. You right there, but I got you. What's your name? Hmm. So what are three brand deals you would choose for your channel? Yeah, Apple. Why? Okay.
Brands of like Razor, Better Help, HelloFresh, and G Fuel. Wait, are those even real?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, just
Razer, they make tech, they make laptops, they make headphones, they make keyboards and else. Better Health is a mental health website that people use, right? So if you can't afford to go to a therapist, they will use Better Health. And HelloFresh is actually a food service that a lot of people that actually use. Um, it comes once a month and it comes with everything that you need to cook, whatever meal they set up. Energy for is like an energy drink company. So and what's the other two? Okay. All right. So let me show you the thing that I picked. I did it too. So I picked Nike, Gatorade, Fritos Like. I picked Nike, multiple reasons, right? They are one of the biggest shoe companies out there. I also get Jordan shoes because I get the retro stuff with Nike. Um, Personal story. Um, with Nike, they sent me some shoes. 13 years ago, I got shot. I got shot both my legs right here. I have lost complete control of my right foot. I'm in constant pain every day, and I can only wear certain shoes.
who got shot.
I got shot 13 years ago today. The shoes I have on right now, no, bullet. I got shot with a gun. Nike sent me some shoes. I can only wear certain shoes on my brace. These are some of the pair they sent me that I have on right now. This is made for like AFLs, slip in and slip out. So Nike will forever be, I will forever have their back because of that. But also I chose Nike because YouTube was on it. They are two of the biggest, but they're also more advices brands that you know out there, right? Everybody have them. You have on Nike shoes right now. You have on some Jordans, all those retros. Those are Nike shoes. What you have on Jordans too? Are those retros? Nike. Like everybody mostly have on Nike shoes. My man right there got on Nike shoes. Like everybody had on Nike shoes. Nike appear. So I would he still Nike. but Nike is one of the most viable brands out there. Everybody that you see on the street for the most part is going to have something Nike on. If it's the shoes, if it's a shirt, if it's a pair of pants, they're going to have on Nike. Gatorade is probably one of the most oldest drink institutions in the world with sports drink, right? I like Gatorade, honestly. When you play 2K, you see Gatorade. When you watch NBA games or go to Bulls game, you're going to see Gatorade. Well, not the Bulls, but you're going to see Gatorade. It's everywhere, right? Again, one of the most viable brands out there. And of course, Frito Lay's, right? You see, I chose Frito Lay. I didn't choose Doritos. I didn't choose Cheetos. I chose the bigger company that owns all that, Frito Lay. You're eating some Flaming House right now. Somebody's eating Doritos. Else is eating some nasty corn chips, right? Frito Lay's is the most viable chip brand out there, period, right? I chose those three for these reasons, right? Why? Because again, they're the most viable brands out there. But I will also continue to try to work with you three brand deals eventually so I can parlay them into a sponsorship deal. Sponsor me. Don't just sign me to a 3-month brand deal. No, I want you to sponsor me for years and years so I can bring you all more business. Why do I want to do that? Because eventually I want to have my own shoe, or I want to have my own chip flavor, or my own drink flavor. When you think of brand deals for your channels, you always want to try to think ahead because you want to know what more opportunities out there, right? I'm not saying I'm going to get a brand deal or a sponsorship deal ASAP, but probably a couple years down the line, maybe three, Nike assigned me to a sponsorship deal, right? They'll send me just a lot of merch that I can just wear on train, like tracksuits, hats, different shoes, with Frito Lay. They probably gonna send me hella Doritos, hella Flaming Hots, whatever like that. The same thing with Gatorade, right? That's what you would want, right? And of course, money. They're gonna pay me, but they're also gonna send me stuff like that. Why? So I can go ahead and I can show it on my stream. Hey y'all, you see, I'm just eating a bag of Doritos with my feet kicked up, seeing my Air Max and drinking a thing of blue Gatorade. These are things that companies will want you to do. The reason why I asked you to pick your own three is because sometimes people do have more morality issues with some companies, right? It's some companies that you may not want to represent on your channel, even if they're throwing money at you. And that is fine, right? It's okay for you to turn down deals because you want to, stay with your moral ground. You don't want to just sell out for money. No, you want to stay with your moral ground, which is why I asked you to pick your three. These three I picked, and the three that, and I'm sorry, what's your name again? Teenage. Okay, teenage. I'm sorry. The three that these two picked was great, brand opportunity deals, right? He picked Jordan brand. I would say pick Nike so you can get the Jordans, but the Jordan brand do have certain colorways that Nike don't have access to, right? Because they're strictly just Jordan brand colorways, right? He chose Apple. That's great. Apple is probably the number one thing that everybody wants to have, right? You have an iPhone? You have, of course, have an iPhone. Yeah. So, everybody and their mama have an iPhone, right? So that's a good pick for you to have, right? Apple is everywhere. Look, I'm a PC guy, but I have to admit that with Apple, the wall in garden is great. You can use an iPhone. Oh, my phone did. I can just text on my MacBook. Oh, my MacBook did. I have this iPad that I ain't used in a couple months, but I can do what I need to do, finish up that I started on my phone, that I also started to finish on my MacBook, and I'm finishing up on my iPad, right? I like that. I can't stunt. But everybody have iPhones, Apple Watches, AirPods, AirTags, all of that. So that's a good sponsorship deal for you to pick, right? You want to get sponsored, why? So they will send you iMacs, right? They're gonna send you a giant iMac monitor and a Mac Mini, so you can move all of your video editing process from probably a Windows PC that you done bought so long ago. Now you got the sponsorship deal, and they send all the stuff to your doorstep. Now you have a whole new setup. You have an easier setup, right? Because now you have access to things like Final Cut Pro, and these are things that they're probably gonna want you to talk about. Like, hey, use this; it's yours. Use it. But we also gave you a copy of Final Cut Pro. We want you to talk about how that makes everything easy. It's more streamlined to edit your videos. It doesn't take so long for you to render down 2 hours train for YouTube. It used to take you like 4 or 5 hours. Now it's taking you 2 hours. They'll just render down that video. So these are things that they want you to talk about, right? Because best believe when you sign these brand deals, yeah, they're gonna pay you. They're gonna give you merch. They're gonna give you whatever, right? They also want that promotion. They're choosing a lot of live streams because it's cheap and going to a PR firm. They still going to use their PR firm, right? You're still going to see commercials about the new iPhone. You're still going to see commercials about Gatorade, and chips, and things like that, right? But if they can get more promotion and use a fifth of their budget that they will hire PR firms for, they're going to choose you. So that's why I really wanted, to do this assignment to just to show you, like, hey, you can get those endorsement deals. You said Lamborghini too, right? That's maybe a bit harder, but Lamborghini is great. The only thing with Lamborghini is they don't really have commercials because their brand names speak for themselves. Kind of the same reason why you don't see a car company like a Ferrari. You hear Ferrari, you know what that is, right? When you hear Lamborghini, you know what that is. And I would say a car company that would sponsor you would be something like Dodge, right? Chargers, Challengers. You see commercials for them more because they want that brand recognition out there, right? You hear Chargers, you hear Challengers, you hear Hellcats, Demons, you know what that is, right? So they're probably sponsor you more than Lambo. Like, let's say Lambo is like, you know what, we're gonna do something different. Today, we're going to give you an endorsement deal for Lambo. They're going to probably give you a car. You pick your color, right? Because Lambo, not like Ferrari, they're going to let you color your car and everything. What color would you choose? What's your favorite color? Blue. Blue. So awesome. So blue. So you're going to choose blue, right? So they're going to want you to drive. They want you to get pictures. They want TMZ to take pictures of you in your car because they want that brand recognition, right? So these are things they will want you to do. For your channel, depending on what genre it is, take a camera outside, show your car off, show you doing some donuts, whatever like that. Don't do anything too crazy because you don't want them to take that sponsorship deal away, you know, but you do want that sponsorship deal in your pocket because they're going to pay you a buttload of money. So, Lambo is great. What's the other one? McDonald's, right? And he had picked McDonald's. Everybody know McDonald's. Everybody know you're gonna see them Golden Arches, what that restaurant is, right? They're gonna have, you go get you a McDouble plain, a McChicken with no lettuce. Everybody know McDonald's. You're gonna get you a pop for $1.59. Everybody know McDonald's. Every kid still want happy. I have two little brats at home that bugs me about buying them McDonald's Happy Meals, right? So that's a great endorsement deal to have. They're probably just going to send you a bunch of food, or what we seen recently. What did we see recently with McDonald's with a stream? Asante. He brought out the most disgusting burger, a chicken Big Mac, but he got that endorsement deal, and that's a huge thing for a streamer to get, right? Even before recently, right? I want to say a couple years ago, we had the Cardi B Offset meal for Valentine's Day. Before that, we had the Travis Scott deal, right? These was huge monument deals for artists to get because McDonald's for the longest really didn't work with big time celebrities like that, right? The only celebrity that I can think of in recent memory that I can remember since I was young was Jordan, right? It was just Michael Jordan, and that was just a Chicago thing. That wasn't even like a nationwide deal. It was just like Chicago. Um, Nike, when they worked with Kevin Hart, I think Kevin Hart was the first non-athlete, well, Kanye. Kanye and Kevin Hart was two of the first non-athletes to get their own shoe, and I think Ninja got a shoe too at Nike, if I'm not mistaken. And he's the first live streamer to get his own shoe deal, his own shoe like colorway, his own shoe model, all of that, right? So things like I'm talking about can definitely happen, right? You can parlay those sponsorship deals into getting your own personal brand thing. Yes.
Just got a question. Some of these sponsorship, they have programs. This one streaming, as they have sponsorship for things. You were streaming,
Mm-hmm.
you get additional offers, brands that that you can serve to subscribers, and you can monetize all of that. Kind of get your thoughts.
Well, okay, so stream elements programs like those. That's a great question. Programs like those, you would have to read the fine print. What you don't want is for them to get part of your money. Yes, they may help you get in rooms with these different brands, right? But they also going to take a nice chunk of change. Remember, if you have a lawyer, which you should definitely have to look over your contract, you have to pay your lawyer, you have to pay stream elements, right? By the end of the day, you may not have a big chunk of change like you thought you were going to have eventually. To me, usually, which is why I would say let the brands come to you, right? If you feel like brands are not going to come to you, then by all means, yes, go ahead and use stream elements. But if you feel like that you're doing a great enough job streaming, you have 5, 10,000 followers, and you have smaller brand deals like a PDP, like a Raise, a Better Health, HelloFresh, G Fuel. Trying to think of another one, I can't right now. But if you get the smaller ones, what I would say to do, honestly, my personal opinion, stay patient, just wait it out, and the bigger brand deals will come. But if you feel like that, hey, you want to get seen now, then by all means, you can go ahead and do that program, and they will probably get you in a room with bigger people, bigger brand deals, and everything like that. So, that's my opinion on that. Right. So it's not bad. It's just that it's just like I said, gosh. Right. Just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. In that case, I would tell you to get a lawyer, right? Get a lawyer, have them look over everything. Because what if you sign with you sign with Stream Elements, right? And they get you deals, but then outside of Stream Elements, let's say McDonald's come and they want to give a sponsor a 3 year, let's say a 3 year, $10 million sponsorship deal. Is Stream Elements being a part of that too? Is that part of the contract? Like, hey, whatever deals you bring in yourself, you have to pay us. So these are things that you want to pay attention to before you sign deals like with Stream Elements. So these content creators, it's like Normand. I know they're a clothing brand. Think about sponsorship. I'm thinking of like I want to be sponsored software brands, clothing brands. I'm not buying that stuff. All right, so it depends on your genre if you're streaming. So let's say you want to be a tech streamer, right? You want to, you want to test out tech, whether that's laptops, desktops, new SSDs, more faster RAM, stream decks, things of that nature. Then of course you want to get like the Googles, the HPs, the Lenovo's of the world to come sponsor you. Fun fact, um, for me, Google, I actually have a contact with Google. Before the incident of me getting shot, I was in the process of getting my degree and I wanted to work for Google. And when they heard what happened to me, they always send me like care packages around the time, like um, merch and cases. I got a phone from them one time. Um, so it's always helpful to look for things that you want, right? Just because you're doing tech, you should also still step outside the box with your endorsement deals, right? So let's say BetterHelp. I think BetterHelp, as a brand deal will work for any channel because you are subscribers to your community. Like, hey, you know, exactly, right? Like October is Mental Health Awareness Month, right? So you always want to be kind of in that time, right? April is Autism Awareness Month in April, right? Light of the blue. So blue shirts, things like that, right? You want to always just set things up. So for better health, yes, you can go throughout the year. But me personally, I would use that around like April and August. You'll probably see the biggest uptick of people subscribing to those programs around those months. Because when you get deals like Better Health, you're going to get a code. Like, put in at 20 for 20% off of using Better Health, or use Khadija 15 to 15% off, right? They would do things like that. They would give you things like that so you would have a brand deal. So you get money up front and you get a piece of whatever subscribers sign up with Better Health using your code. So if it's 15% off, you're getting that 15%. That 15% of yours. So if you get 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, that's 15% off 100, 200 subscribers that are applying Better Health with your. So, uh, okay, answer your question. Yes. So it is 5:54. It is about that time. Do you have any questions? Any more questions? Well, as you know, if you need to ask me anything outside of class, you can email me at aramis.singleton at clickservicesnfp.org, or if you see me before or after class, pull me over to the side and I will answer the question as well I can. But until then, next week we will be going over how to set up your stream, right? So it's going to be it's going to be this. but I'm going to try to make it a bit easier for everybody to understand. It's how to set up your stream, how to set up OBS, how to set up your camera, how to set up your microphone, right? Make it not too soft, all of that, right? We're gonna go over all of that. But until then, I will see you all next week. Next will be Sammy's class with coding, so just stay put. But next week, I will see you all Monday for the music production. There you go. So Elijah, stay put, Elijah. Sammy's next with coding.
Sounds good.
So.
There's too much pride behind this.
How's it going on live?
Either way it goes.
This is Jeremy. Are you putting some bread on it?
Yeah, yep. I got a guy at FanDuel.
Like, all right. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Wait, what time does the fight start actually?
It's 7 our time, 8 EST.
They're like actually fighting or any prelims?
Probably pretty good.
Okay, makes sense. Honestly, the fight not probably gonna start till like 7:45. Those
Yeah,
8.
I'm like,
By the time I'm done, I'm pulling it up. I ain't gonna lie.
I like seeing all trash talk and throw it on the wall.
Fair. Alright, cool. So last week we left off on functions. Okay, so last week we talked about functions. Okay, so I think I this is all right. Hi Elijah.
Yes, Sammy.
Oh my days. Oh, no word. Like, cool. Hi. Let's get into it. Damn, he gang that's gang. So, how much do you guys remember from last week?
Oh, hey, I just stuck last week. Hello.
Oh, functions. Right, that just stands for define. Uh, honestly, anytime you see a 3-letter, most of the time it's short for something like int is integer, def, define. The only one that's an exception to that is float. That's just float, because otherwise it'd be float. I don't know. It's weird for that. So, to do a quick recap, right? Functions are just a way for you to reference a specific set of code, right? It always is going to work very similar to. Honestly, I would say that everything that we talked about at this point is going to be like the exact same thing, just the way that you describe it is different, right? It's always like key names, so like variables are like this, so it's like variable name is equal to and then some data type So then anytime you want to call this, for example, we'll just say A. Anytime we want to call A, we say, right? Actually, we'll just do something. Right? So if I call num, then it'll give us A. Same thing with functions, right? You first have to define the function, give it some name. Right? So and then from here, all your code gets executed, right? But you're gonna have a bunch of functions, but if you never call them, nothing's really gonna happen. So that's just like a quick recap. Most of the time, it's always gonna be like that function, something loop, either like for a while with some more conditions just to kind of like steer it. So I think last week I gave the definition or I gave the example of like functions being like the type of car you choose, but all the cars still run the same, right? Still got wheels, still got an engine, still need a key, right? And it's still you driving. The only difference is, am I taking the whip from Mercedes? Am I taking the Beamer? What am I going to take? It's up to you. So you kind of get to choose that. So, yeah. And then the reason it's important is because you don't want to rewrite your code a bunch of times, right? Like a lot of times you're just going to want to write it once, call the function name, and then have the code do it all for you. Which we'll see that a lot more when we start coding like mini games and stuff like that. Because a lot of times we'll have like different functions that do different things, right? So like we'll have a function that's mainly for pairing. We'll have a function that's mainly for actually like controlling flows. But that's just kind of like the premise. Oh yeah. So pretty much it works like that. Some name that you give it, and then it also takes in some level of input, right? So for example, it could be something like this, where the name that you choose, it doesn't have any inputs, and you just call the name, right? So like, let's just say, the most common one that we'll always see whenever we're running this is main, or main code, right? So that main, we don't need any functions, and then we'll just say, print, and if I were to call main, all I would have to do is just call main, parentheses, and then now it refers back to this function. Like that. But now if I wanted to change this, let's just say, change this to a num. Actually, I were to give it now some input, right? So like let's just say this takes in some number. What I could do is I could actually use this as an input and then change it. So now what would end up happening is now it takes in some level of input, which in our case could be a number, but it's honestly the name that you choose doesn't really matter. It's more of like a placeholder. It's the same thing as a variable. So if I were to call this now, you guys think that main would work? Why? Exactly. So if I wanted to make it work, I would have to add in something to main, right? So what can I add in here to make this work? We gotta add 5 in here. And now the way it reads it is, okay, I have main, which means call this function. It takes a number, check. All right, we're gonna print whatever the number is, check. So it takes in some level of inputs, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Go so far? So always remember to call a function by its name. So whether that's main, right? You could call it what you can call it whatever you want, but just make sure that you're calling its name. And then if you change its name, to go back and change it wherever else in the code you're referencing it to. Give it its inputs, and then actually, yes. Before I forget. So there's print statements, but then there's also something else, right? There's return statements. Do you guys remember a little bit about returns or not? Not too much? Right.
It stops.
You're right. It does stop the code. It's like hard to do return. Number +2. What's gonna happen? Yeah. Good. Alright, so if I were to call this function, right, called by main fly, which works, it's gonna return. We know that it's gonna do 5 + 2 over here. Are we gonna see anything? Exactly. But, huh? Exactly. But something else that's gonna happen is main. It's gonna sound a little confusing, but now this actually has some sort of value, right? So our function is gonna be returning, like for example, if I were to do
What kind of FanDuel Sports is it? It's very large.
if I were to do
Is Disney Channel there? Yep. How about TNT? Yep. How about Netflix? Wait, where'd you go?
sum is equal to main.
I can still speak to you on as I'm on the school.
Elijah, everything good?
Yes.
Cool.
No.
So,
Wait.
hey,
Wait. Did I just speak out? I'm sorry.
now you go. What's up?
So about the functions though. Let me tell you something. So wait, can I take a guess if this is for another new student thing? I understand.
Huh?
Wait, never mind.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I just I just spoke of how I felt like you. That's all. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
So,
So,
but the question
so
is,
going-
if
Okay,
Chris
go
is
ahead.
still new to the class, so do we still get to teach him new moments about the functions?
this is review, and then we're moving on to the lab, and then moving on to new stuff again. Kind of how we've been doing.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So, well, back. If I were to say main 5, we know that it's returning 5 + 2, right? So it's going to return 7. Return is just a fancy way of saying like save. It's kind of like quick save. So now if I were to say number is equal to main 5, it's the same thing as saying main 5 is now equal to 7. So if I were to print, if I were to print number, what would happen? Or print num? What would be printed? Exactly. So the key things to remember about using returns are it takes you out the code, and then it just saves the function. So, quick question if you guys remember. Apart from return, what else kind of like breaks you out of the code or like stops the code? Apart from return, right? So like let's just say I had I have 4 loop. So it's like 4 something that's range wide. That's like it. 5 return number else. We have another way. So it's like you can return one number, and that's gonna break you out of the code and take you out. What's the other way? This one I think we've talked a little bit about. Yeah. Yeah. The other one is great. I know my handwriting is bad. This angle with it. Y'all get the point? So they kind of do something similar, but slightly different variations. So that's return statements. Okay. So do you guys remember fourth lab? The one that I sent out last week? So let's take a second. If you guys don't have it already completed, right? So like problems, we did problem 1 and 2. So if you guys haven't done that already, let's take a couple of moments to like just work through those. I think 1 should be really easy. 2 also should be pretty easy. Don't worry about 3 too much. It's nothing crazy. And then from there, we'll move on to new stuff. So, yeah, we'll come back in like 5 minutes. Wait, unless you guys, who hasn't done that before, or like have anything for it? Because if you guys already all have stuff written for it, then I think we'll be okay. All right, if that's the case, let's just work through the first off. Everybody has that 4, right? Yeah. Let me resend as a caution. Yeah. My car was messed up. I was mad. I was like, damn.
I feel you. I feel you. When it comes to making mistakes, you just have to keep trying. So you just have to keep trying until you get it right the first time.
Yeah, well, it was me. It was my car. So unlucky, but also wait, Chris, I know that this your email, KRISKIZER15. All right, sick.
I was just about to ask you, I'm like, yo, send me back to the core.
Yeah, I got you. Honestly, I would say, yeah, I got you. So I'll send out that 4.
I was to check out, just build up my skills.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know what type of like stuff you're trying to do with computer science essentially?
Mostly it's just my own like personal curiosity because I'm in the venture capital space. I invest in startups.
Okay, nice. So I take it that that's like your main job. I work in finance. I work in futures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
A lot of help. Get a lot of help. Get a money work too. Maybe DeFi features.
okay, nice. Yeah. I do a bunch of like future. I essentially automate a bunch of systems for futures FX company. Which let me do this.
It's fine.
Yeah. Wait, you like working downtown or online?
No, it's well, it's
Right.
obviously for deals and things.
Indeed.
Wait.
I just sent you those labs over. Um, yeah, I think if I'm honest, I would say your
Wait,
best bet is probably
is
going
there
to
a
be going
fourth lab?
to. Yeah, we're working on the fourth lab. Uh, I would say the first problem of the second lab is very similar to the third lab. So like if you want to like essentially lab two or lab three is a buildup of lab two and lab three. So yeah, I would say that that's a good place to start for sure. Yeah. Well, everybody else is gonna work on that.
Oh, I got it. It's all pretty good. I never came. No, I did. Just go. So I find some smugs. It's with people. It's all we're going to like. Though I think it's so sure. Even like it's my phone has a operation. It's like it's you longer Bible. It's like sense. Whatever or it's not good. That's not good. No, I'm still different. That's you know. Okay, so if it's a sign, you need to connect sign it. When you have like instant. You get to the transaction. Sweet. Right? Without thinking that long. Like, once you get into the comedy part, it's like, well, but that's it's like something. Something. I can slow that. Let's be honest with you. I got this. Would that be I'm like, oh, this is making more like no, there's not that. That's not the case. There's a lot of challenge. Like about it. How I did it. Me. We see the real for them. See, because I think what I that's like enterprises can do it, right? Systems are a lot more easy, but it doesn't just all the complicated. It's gonna get very. Exactly. I gotta take. Either so good guys. Yeah. Like see.
They only don't have. You guys, this is no, I'm not. What's up? So, all right, y'all ready? All right, cool. So, you guys remember how to do problem one?
Yes.
Got it?
Put that message. With the two things, 2,000.
Yep.
Print. Invitation card. Hello. Plus. Hello, plus.
Yep.
And then I'll put message. I don't know if it's down there, but it say document.
Okay. That's a fair one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh so yeah, that's right. If you run it, it'll be. Oh, my bad. I forgot. There should be hello plus. There you go. So what about problem number 2? For example, I would say depth, area, and then what should we be putting inside like here? Yep. Our width and length. Yep.
Divided by.
Yeah, that. Yep. Which always to make it easier and more legible, it's like width times length divided by 2. And if I were to do print area 5 and 10, that would give us our answer of 25. So that wasn't too bad, right? Time to move on to lists and to speaks.
Well, Sammy, due to too many emails in my Gmail, I wasn't able to receive Lab 4.
Double check it because I just sent it out right now, about 11 minutes ago.
Okay.
But if not, then I will just send it to you again. All right, now it should be in your Gmail again, just in case. All right, cool. So, new topic. All right, it's whatever. So, everybody can see back there? All right, sick. So, now we're going to be talking about something that's called data structure. So, right now, we're just kind of like giving you the foundation for building blocks. But, you know, we haven't really talked about anything too complex. So, now we're going to start talking about lists and tuples, which sound fancy, but they're really not. So, list is kind of what it sounds like. A list is just like a grocery list. It will have names and stuff. For example, if I were to go to the grocery store, what's the most common things I need? I need milk, right? Eggs, honey, blah, 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 right? So if we wanted to represent this in Python, anybody have any ideas as to how we do that? Yeah. We should know. I was just curious if you guys had any knowledge. So the way that we'd actually represent this would be, for example, putting square brackets and then putting like milk, right? Eggs, so on and so forth, right? So this is going to be a list. And just like a list, it's kind of really essential for us to be able to like use it because if I want to, for example, take this and just use a for loop to show, okay, this is what you need, this is what I already have, you can do that. And then tuples are going to be very similar, but there's some caveats to that. So, main reason that they're important is because a lot of the times we're going to be starting to organize and manage our data because there's going to be more data involved. And it just makes our code a little bit easier to perform. So, lists are just kind of what we described over there. And then, for example, you could save that list as whatever. So, I would say this is equal to something that we need, right? For example, this is groceries.
The name.
Yep. So now if I do print groceries, what's gonna happen? What's groceries?
Oh, it'll be the bid.
Exactly. Yep. It's gonna print out the list, but how is it gonna print it out? Is it just gonna print it out like this? Is it gonna go one by one? You got any guesses, any clues? Not yet.
Yeah.
Like this? Yep. So it's a different process to get each individual item, but just know that currently this is what we have. Right? So it's like you can do as many items as you need. And the cool thing about it is you can always add things, subtract things, right? You can take out something, and they're easily able to be modified. So if I were to also, just like anything in Python, we start at what number?
Here.
Yep. So this would be 0 onto the 1, 2, and so forth. Right? If I were to, let's just say, get rid of the 0th element and get rid of milk, what happens? Anybody got any ideas? Yeah, if I get rid of the zero element and I get rid of aka the milk, what happens? But does this stay as is, or like what do you think happens? You know, is there like a shift?
I'm gonna go back to.
It goes back to zero. So now this would be, instead of this being zero, now you're like, okay, this is zero, that's one, so on and so forth. So I think that lists are a little bit easier to comprehend. So I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on tuples because they might sound a little confusing. So this is an example of what a list looks like. And if I wanted to print out everything individually, it'd be like for each value within the list, print the value. So value would be set at zero. And it's like, okay, for zero element in a list, that would be one. Then value goes up to two or one. And then it's like, okay, the first element is three, right? And then it does that until there's no more elements. Any questions so far? Hey, careful, this is gonna be on the final. Nah, that was hilarious. You just gave me the craziest face. Hold on, final. All right, but so with lists, right? I'm gonna show this for the lab because this is gonna be crazy if you did it without. But for example, you could take the length of the list, which is just len. You could append the list, which is just adding an item to the end. You can insert something into the list. For example, if I wanted to insert cereal, I would say, okay, cereal is gonna go here. I need it before the eggs or after the eggs. I would say like insert it and then cereal, you know, whatever index I need. For example, I would want it, if this is 0, 1, 2, and I'd want it after 1, I would put then 2. Right? So you can insert things wherever, you can remove things. So like just what we did, saying whatever index you want to remove. You can also find the first place where something happens. Honestly, there's really, the options are limitless. You can even sort it and reverse it. And we'll see why this is important in a little bit. Now, I think we're moving on to tuples. So, a tuple is very similar to a list, but it's a little bit different. So, the main thing that's different is that it's immutable, meaning you can't change it. So, once you make it, it's donezo. It's like, that's locked. But you could do still some things with it, right? So it's very similar, but you just can't modify it as much afterwards. But it's still useful, right? For example, you could always get the length of it. You can count the items. You can get the index of something, and so forth. And the way that actually we do this, just to make it easy, is um, you do the exact same thing. So, for example, in this case, we'd say store is equal to, and then instead of using the square brackets, now we're using the regular brace or parentheses. And then you're kind of just putting in whatever you want, right? So for example, in our case, we put milk, eggs, etc. Any questions about that so far? Y'all good? So very similar, but different is that you can kind of mix and match what you want to do, right? So let's just say you guys want to have a list of lists. You could do that. You can have a list within a list. You can have tuples within tuples. You can have a list of tuples, which I know all of this sounds weird, but essentially you can mix and match the different data sets and the different data structures to kind of do what you need, right? So for example, if you're like, okay, grocery stores that I need to go to, right? And you could have like Target, Walmart, right? Hy-Vee, whatever. And then with each of those lists, then that's a different list. For example, you're like, okay, from Target, I need paper, towels, whatever. You can have that individual thing. And then now we'll be like, okay, Target, but Target has paper, towels. From Walmart, I need chicken and I need steaks. From Hy-Vee, I just want some like snacks. So you can kind of like mix and match. Um, Slicing just refers to accessing a part of the list or tuple and using its syntax, right? For example, you can only like, let's just say you don't need the entire list and you only need like a part of the list, you could do that. So you could start out like the 0th, you could go to the half, and you could also say, you know what, I want to skip every other thing. And then you can also do some in-place operations, which are just going to be like, you can sort the list or the tuple, and you can reverse it. Any questions about that? I just completely missed it. So I guess this is probably going to be the best thing that I would say helped me is essentially list versus tuples, right? So a tuple uses parentheses versus a list which uses brackets. Tuples are immutable versus where lists are changeable. You could do whatever you want with it. The only downside to lists is that they tend to be a lot slower because there's a lot more things that you go do with them. So it's like, do I want flexibility and for it to take its time, or do I want to not have to change things, but for it to be a little bit faster? In terms of memory, this is all stuff that happens behind the scenes, so don't worry about it too much. But just know that lists generally take up more memory because you can do more with them. Uh, Tuples, we're gonna start talking about dictionaries next time, I think. I think right now we'll start off with just lists and tuples, and then next time we'll get into dictionaries. But just know that main differences between the two is that one is changeable, one isn't, but they do very similar things. So it's always like, do I need to change it? No, use the tuple. If I need to change it for XYZ, use the list. Any questions? You sure? I know I moved a little quick. You want me to recap tuples? Or wait, were you here for this or not? Okay, here. We'll start working on the lab, but all of this is gonna come back. So don't worry. Y'all are gonna work in partners again. And now I want y'all to do is run the lab. All right, cool. Go ahead, check your emails.
Wait, we on the fifth lab? Wait. Oh, we didn't do anything for the fifth lab yet.
Yeah, no, this is all just here.
Okay.
Nah, that's great. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I heard Twitter. Nah, yo, that's crazy. I'm working through problems too, I'm trying to see a different solution, but y'all work, okay, so everybody have everybody have the lab, right? Yeah. What's your email? Because I saw. I don't think so. You don't know. Yeah, okay, cool. No wonder I was like, hold on, gang. Yeah, I think this is because we got through the first 4 labs last time. This is the first time that you're like, all right. In case y'all don't have it, it's now going to be check again. Now you should have it too. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of guidance in terms of like what's happening because I know that you're probably looking at it and just a little confused, right? So all of these little hashtags are just comments that I've made to kind of give you guys some instruction. For example, for problem 1, it's pretty simple. Create a list of 5 names. Then I want you to print the first and the third names of that list. Then add a new name to the end of the list. And just kind of like keep going back and forth and just like doing all of these. And then slowly but surely, you guys are going to see that like it kind of adds up, right? So I want y'all to go ahead, partner up. I'll leave this on the screen for right now because I think it'll be useful. So yeah, make sure that you guys are working with another person, working in 2 people's. And then I'll say we'll take like 10, 15 minutes. That's crazy. You trying to see who leaked out loud? That's wild. That's what he's out here doing right now, dude. He's guys are about to work. That's crazy. You gonna let him talk to you like that?
Hey, pause. Wait. Sorry.
No, you can come up with those.
That's it. Make your pancakes. Come on, girl. And it's Oreo, huh? I know.
Because somebody would have they going to you're kind of like look at that though. From right things there, very what's the name of the country? This thing over there, where's some sort of getting that's ready. No. What? That's what I'm saying. When you mentioned, yeah, right. Shut up. Okay, like he's on the meeting. It's on the meeting. The gate that is so okay, watch it now. I'm not gonna figure out that name. I know. I know your mama ready. I know what fire ready. What's your name? Huh? Look, that's the grab name. That's all. Bring up the link. I mean, that's what I got. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh, it's you. Sure. Thank you, sir. Oh, it's got teaching. Nobody else. Sure. What's out here? We talk about exchange rate. Okay, now, like, you're not playing with okay, you. Like, yeah, that's my country. You're not playing but now. Oh, damn, now like, I mean, what? Feel left. Good at point. Anyone who's helped. Yeah, okay. You just said, you know, personal. Is it? It's so nice name. Those five last things, go get the key. So she doesn't have that vibe. That's no salary, Jake. It's right. It's not anything on that. It's hard. I'll give it. It's cool. Like a praise. It's a fun. I would say it's one that's week. I'll get to the bottom. It's just but like that's the thing. Like, got it. Okay. Yeah. No, don't be wrong. It's like you can start okay. I want to get very fully fix them. I'll be ready for this one.
That's a whole other plan. That's the Hey, bro, Wall Street was alive. She watched it. You watch K-dramas? No way.
Like, it's so really good, but it's so good. I don't know why.
I know K-dramas are good. I've seen a couple of them.
This is my first one, and I'm like, yeah, I can't look still.
Dude, K-dramas are like the same thing as telenovelas for like Hispanics. The only difference is I feel like K-dramas tend to be on the more like romantic side of things. Whereas than
I
the
don't think so. This one was mistakenly.
Change the first and third names of the list. I always say and.
You know, so, right, there's two different ways to do it. You can do individual, so you can do like rank. Also, you don't actually have to do that because no, right? So, pancakes is there. What if you were to do streets? Oh wait, I guess I did not explain this that one. Actually, but thank you for so because I swear I was like, hold on. Okay, also something that's come to my attention that I guess I did not explain to the best was anytime that you guys are wanting to refer to something within, for example, a list. If I want to do groceries, if I were to do brackets after, if I wanted to just get an individual item, I would just call it. For example, 0 would give me no in this case, right? Even though I lost it out, we'll just stick with decimal. Right? I can also do 0 and then 2. And then it's gonna print out milk and then whatever this is, which in our case will say and things. Right? So yes. I would also say, yeah. We'll stick with this. Just know that if you were to do like parentheses or
Oh, it's what's
What's his turn? Yeah, be glad.
it's not.
like almost. Well, look.
Yeah, flip.
Yeah, you
Damn.
can.
He got the beer.
No, it's right here.
You don't know.
Wait. Wait. Common operations whenever you're using.
But he must have.
I'll be like that.
Really?
Wait a second. Sammy, those are the common operations that you can use in VS Code.
Wait, what's up, Elijah?
Really?
Wait, so those would be the common operations that you can use in VS Code.
I heard the first time I was looking at you like,
Yeah. So whenever you're looking at the lab, just know that this is kind of like a cheat sheet-ish.
Oh, that's smart. Cool.
Yes. Also,
yeah, he heard about it.
Now let's do that. Okay. Also, I got something that what?
That's a pimple.
Y'all ready?
almost like I kind of remember now. Similar to this, you know how I just told y'all can put whatever index you guys want and get the specific item. You can also kind of list it. For example, I think it was on the next slide, but we'll just stick with this for now and I'll just explain it. So if I wanted to get, for example, the 0 to the second item, I could do 0, colon, 2, and then it's gonna print everything in between. If I were to add another colon, and then say 2, it'll skip by 2. For example, it'll go 0, 1, 2, or it'll go 1, 2. Okay, that's right. And skip. So there's different ways to do this, but essentially it goes brackets. It's for you to call the list. So the list name, any brackets, and then anything that you want. So I think for the first problem, it's like print the first and the third name. You could do 0, comma 2. Make sense? Ish. Yeah.
Things to end. You don't write it like my list after, right?
So for yeah. My list is just like a placeholder for whatever you named your list.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. We'll reconvene in like 2.
For the, just go to the game.
I quit Fortnite back in high school. I was like, I had too many kids on the motherfucker.
It's not good because I was they put out the juice was good.
Dude, that's the only reason why I was like, shit. And I don't think you understand, dude. I'm a big, like, I'm Juice for a diehard.
Brother, yeah, the juice was Takashi.
Wait. So Sammy, if
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken, whenever we do lap 5, will there be a cheat sheet for one of those?
Yeah. So we'll walk through lab 5. This is just something to kind of get you started on the cheat sheet. Yeah.
Okay.
This is something that I should add.
Because if there was no cheat sheet, never.
Yeah. This is like, I'll send you the lab if you need it. Or I'll send you the
Know where I got
slideshows
the
if you
lap
guys need it.
before I got.
I'll send you guys the slideshows after.
I understand.
Yeah, no. Item is just like, for example, find the first index of an item. So like, let's just say for our example, it was milk. Instead of item, you'd write milk.
Really?
Oh, it's the same item in our list.
Yeah. So like, all of these are just generics, right? So my list is the name of your list. Item is like something specific in the list. Index is like, where in the list is it? And then item is what the thing that you're trying to add is. So yeah. I'll give y'all an extra minute. That's crazy.
Oh no. Who would know?
I'm talking about what we are like. Oh,
So, you know that there apparently Juice WRLD's mom has a restaurant in Homewood? Yeah. Let me.
Wait, like Homewood, like out here Homewood?
I hear Homewood because
Where?
you know that this where Juice WRLD lived at for a minute, right?
I knew about that, but I thought he like I knew he been living for like about a year. Because most like him and what's the used to live out here. But I didn't know he had a restaurant.
It's called Homewood Brewing. Here, hold on, I'll show you. Hey, I saw I can tell that. Hold on. Hey, there's one store where you're supposed to see. Oh no. I just know that just because I'm from inner city, so it's like it's a. I'm like I'm probably trying to come through like one of my shits. I'm probably trying to check out.
Wait, so how did nobody talk? Nobody talking about it. Let me. I gotta look.
It's called Homewood Brewing Co. That's in Homewood. Actually, wait, okay. Open it, Apple Maps.
You like that?
It's a 6-minute drive from here.
Sure, God.
It's a 6-minute drive. It's a brewery.
How you gonna talk to me?
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I just think it's sick.
Oh, I'm going there.
Right? That's what I'm saying, dude. I got to.
Where you going? Where you going?
Hey, bro, let's go next week. Next week?
That's right.
Well, I got his so that's it. So
I think you'll be okay. If anything, hold on, low key. Actually, no, on the 29th, after Thanksgiving. Yeah, because whatchamacallit, I think we still got class that day. If I'm not mistaken, I'm like 90% sure I got class. And my shorties, because I want to bring my shorty with. But actually, I'll figure that out next week. I'll talk to Dr. Nance to make sure. Because if y'all here, we'll go 29th. If
I
not,
mean, we don't miss class. No, we don't make a beer for Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's phenomenal.
okay. Hey, because y'all know that's the one spot that I'm.
That's I didn't even the fact that they didn't talk about it after you die, like
I think it's because it looks new. I think it's probably like been made for like a year or so. Like I think I would say I would more than not probably say that it's probably like 3 years. All right, cool. Y'all ready to go through?
yeah.
He's like,
You better. No, where's your partner at? You can scroll on Twitter. I don't know. When you be.
that is true. That's crazy. Hey, bro. Right. Yeah, dude. All I know is, dude. You know what's crazy? 2019. I got to see Juice and Ski together.
What's the conflict? Okay, so hit me up. I was going to like auction,
Yeah.
but because of all the bad, I'm sorry, I was saying so amazing. I had to turn around like 2 miles. Because like me and my homeboy like slums.
Yeah.
And my homeboys was in the car. Who was this juice? I can't say like never seen a juice more solid.
It was the first for love, dude. You love it.
I was doing wild, we're getting close to the place, but we started feeling vibes. I don't know how my comfortable doing. People like, okay, we find something go out. I'm all pissed, but thank God, because after the day afterwards, we posted some content, and people was having negative vibes, demons and all types of shit.
Oh, shit. Okay. Because I went to the one in Minneapolis. Because people always be saying the same thing about Uzi concerts.
These What they're talking about nowadays is so because Travis Scott concert would actually die there.
I'm going to the Don Toliver concert on Monday. Don Toliver and Ski Master's coming out too.
He's boss.
The dude that hops on No Bystanders with Travis.
Wait, you on the fifth lap? Wait.
Yeah.
But you said you.
All right, I'll show you some songs on. All right, cool. Y'all had some time. All right, let's kind of go through some of these problems together. Yeah, what's up?
Nobody want.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's not listed right.
No, I feel you. Hey, don't worry. I'll show you. We'll walk through it just so that way you see what's happening. All right, cool. You want to go ahead and
Yeah. Okay, I do grocery. It goes pancake, pizza, eggs, good, cheese. And each those have their own culture support.
pancakes?
Pizza. I mean, how much first one?
All right,
Milk,
milk,
eggs, and cheese.
essentials. All right, cool. So we have our groceries. What now?
And a bracket, zero combination.
That's a lot of good. It's either that.
Also, are we missing anything here? I'll give you a clue. It's on line number 6.
Wait a second. Fifth lap cooking class. Wait.
What?
You did say you would start on the fourth
Oh,
lap.
no, you just do print and then parentheses. So I got you. It looks like this. Print.
Wait a second. Is this getting me confused here? Here. We're doing the fourth lap. So we have to do the fifth lap today.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we can't do 0 and then comma 2. So I'll do 0. Okay, my bad. I guess we can't do 0, comma 2, but we'll have to separate it out. It work for you? All right, cool. I don't know what happened with mine then. But yeah, so we printed out the first and the third name. Yep. All right. Wait, milk?
Yeah, they was like adding the names to the end of it.
So you have milk in the list twice?
Yeah. I didn't feel like taking do it. Chicken nuggets too long.
All right, cool. Honestly, we'll do nuggies like this.
Yeah. Especially that boom. In our own tweaks, so they better move the second.
Right?
I put feel free, that's the word. And I looked them after that.
Yeah.
See? See, egg, pancake.
Yeah. And that, okay, so let's just walk through it normally. If I wanted to reverse the list, what would I do? Actually, here, right now we'll do print groceries at this state. So something like that. All right, cool. So now if I wanted to reverse the list, what would I say? Anybody got an idea? Hmm? Reverse reverses it however you have it, I think.
That one.
Yeah.
That's still not listed.
Here, I'll show you real quick. So it's groceries dot reverse. It's literally just dot reverse. And then we print it out. So if we were to print it out right now, you see it just kind of reverses the list. Yeah, what's up?
I still know my list.
I got you.
Wait up, like first, like on the letters. It's listed the letter, like it's like it's built.
Yeah. So for example, if you wanted to do that, you could specify a specific item in the list, right? So you could do groceries dot reverse, but you can actually even do groceries dot. So like let's just say 0. If I'm not mistaken, that should do it. But yes, there is a way to reverse strings. I want to get into that now though. I thought it would be an easy way, but we'll talk a little bit more about string manipulation later, and then we could combine the two. That's what it's called, essentially. So now, okay. For the last one, let's find the index of a specific name in the list. So let's just say we wanted to find. Hey, yo.
Children, what are you talking?
All right, cool.
Since only 12 years old, I don't talk like
All right, so
it's not either.
dang. All right, let's get back on track.
That's what I was trying.
Yo.
That's a
All right, so let's find wherever the milk is. If we wanted to find milk, what would we do?
next item.
Close index, yes, but it's not item. It's gonna be the actual name of our item, which our case is milk. Right? So now if I were to print this, there we go. Right. So when we run this, right, we get pancake milk. We get it forwards with nuggets added, right? We get it backwards when we reverse it. And then we could actually even get the index, which shows out as 2, right? So far, so good. Anybody have any ideas for problem 2? Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. So what should we name it? Okay. Numbers is equal to. There's different ways of doing it, right? So like you could even do for. Yeah, what's up?
this always starts out with 0. Every time the list starts out first step. Keep the number 2. This will work. Do this like great. Like this go like
Yeah, so there's 2 different ways to do it. What do we know about all even numbers? Exactly. So that's one approach that we could take where it's like we divide them by 2 and we see if there's a remainder. And if there is, or if there isn't, then we add that, right? So that's one way to do it. And then the other one is to skip every other number because we know that it's even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, right? But first, I'm going to kind of throw in a little bit of a curveball. So let's just say I wanted to add a loop because I don't want to write each number individually, right? So we have a list of, there's also such thing as an empty list. where you just kind of like have it and then you just start adding stuff to it. If I want to add the numbers 1 through 20, but I don't want to type it out, what's the one way I can do it? I want to be lazy with it. Yeah. So like, let's just say I want to add numbers from 1 through 20. We'll do from 0 to 20. What's one way we could do it using some methods that we've already talked about? Yeah. So if I want to, right now we have an empty list, right? We have a list that doesn't have anything in it. I don't want
Yes.
to have to go in and write 1, 2, 3. I'm lazy. I don't want to do all that. What's
come?
one technique or one thing that we've talked about that I could use?
Remember we did like the 8 ball, we used something like that.
So yeah, but what's it called? It's, well, no, we're adding the integers, yes, but it's no. Well, actually, no,
Like even
oh, no, that's coming later. But I'll give you guys a clue. It sounds like a number.
What's the first letter?
Uh,
5.
no,
See.
no, it's not a number.
sound like a number.
It sounds like a number. We've talked about it. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. There's 2 of them. But we only want one of them. One of them sounds like a number. Specifically. Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
It's like y'all listen to Pierre Bourne?
Yeah.
Pierre Bourne?
Oh, yeah.
The one that made cardio songs. Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Oh.
Yeah. He has a song called 4L. But what's the L stand for? Fruit? Or
Oh.
yeah.
That's nice.
So if I'm lazy with it, I could just do for num in range of 21. I could do numbers out of pen, the actual number, right? And now if I were to print number, what is that phone with? You see how it adds all the numbers? And all I have to do is just be like, I want to add the numbers. I'm gonna find a different way. Exactly. And why is the range 21? Exactly. So it's off at 0, and then we want 21 numbers. So we go from 0 to 20, which is 21. Right? So if we wanted this to only print out the even numbers, this is one way we could do it, which is you skip every 2 numbers, right? So you only print out 0, 2, 4, right? And if we run it, it'll give us the answer. But the other way is how? So
And for some reason, this column. Let's see. Then wait.
I'll give you guys a clue. We could already, I think, use this to help us out. So we could already use this for loop. That because we're gonna have to go through every individual number.
Every individual number.
How do we? Oh, actually, do you guys know how to? I think we've checked it before. But we want to check to make sure every number is divisible by 2, right? So one way we could do that is if num divisible by 2, print the number. Or we could actually make it so that, bam, we just do numbers dot append. And then now if we're to print numbers, it gives us the answer, right? So
Felt like for some reason I couldn't hear the class.
right there. So there's two different ways to do it. It's gonna give you the same answer, right? Whether you're like, I just rather skip every other number, right? Oh, okay, this is the yeah, 0. Which essentially is what this is saying is if the number divided by 2 has a remainder that's equal to 0, which is just means fancy way is like is divisible by 2, then you add it to the numbers, right? So that's one way to do it. The other way is you just add all the numbers in and then you just skip every other number. Make sense? Okay,
Yeah.
problem 3. So this one might sound confusing, but I don't think it should be. Uh, let's create a tuple for coordinates in 3D space, which just means it has an x, y, and a z. So instead of it just being like an x, y, how would I do that? Instead of it having two, like you know how most coordinates are like x, y, this one has a third one, which is the z, which is the horizontal. Anybody want to take a stab at it?
Okay.
Well, there's parentheses, yes.
I mean, would that even work? If that if
Yes, it
possible?
will.
Okay.
All right, let's start off simple. What's the first step in anything that we've been doing so far? We gotta, no, not print. We gotta, stuff for the end. You gotta give it a what? Oh God. What should we name it? Okay, good one. Coordinate is equal to, and then we know that a tuple is, it doesn't have brackets, it has parentheses. So we do parentheses. And now if we want to point in 3D space, we could just choose 3 random points. So give me 3 numbers. Okay, so you know how most coordinates go x, y? This one is gonna go x, y, z, right? How would I print the y coordinate of the tuple? What's the y coordinate that we're looking for?
10.
It's 10. And then how would we print it? What do we do for the first part? Whenever we want to access a specific thing, we just do what? We call the we're gonna be using an integer, yeah. But it not we use the brackets after. Yeah, brackets after, and then what do we put in there? Yeah, the index. So in our case, it's gonna be coordinate 1. And if we do that, we get 10. Make sense? So, all right. Problem 4. Okay. So now let's create a tuple containing all the days of the week, right? So we'll just do days is equal to, and then we'll write all the days. And what if I only wanted to print days? I only wanted to print the weekends, right? So Saturday and Sunday. How would I do that? It's not if. There's a really easy way to do it. So how did we? It's not 4. I think you're overthinking it a little bit. What did we just use? We used the little. That's called slicing, right? So you guys remember how I told you there's okay, actually here, I think this would be you. So, although in our case, days. I know that there's no numbers in here, but this is going to be our starting point. This is our stopping point. And this is our step. So, if we look at Saturday and Sunday, and we only want these two, what's a couple ways to do it? Where would we want to start? Oh, close. We start on Saturday and then we end on. Exactly. So, what index is that? Yeah.
I say items. No, that's a that's
No, items is just like a general term. Like it doesn't have to be literally items.
wow.
You don't even have to write items 5 and 6. We just write 5 and 6. So for example, in our case, we say start is right 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then stop 6. But it doesn't count. It doesn't count the ending point, so we just do 5 and then stop. Or you could alternatively also just write 5, and then you'll do it to the end, right? So like, if you leave it empty, it just says, from 5 onwards, 5 and 6. So if we run this, it only prints Saturday and Sunday. I think we might actually have time for one. Or just two sort of lists. Oh, okay. Actually, let's go through one very quick challenge problem. We'll do the second one. And then from there but I think that at that point we should call it. But let's walk through it together just so that way it's making a little bit of sense. Also, are y'all gonna need this? Should I leave this up?
We do.
So on top of this, what's this number represent?
We
We ain't even talking about days no more, just in general. This is our starting number. This is our, and then this is gonna be our, which is how big we go by. So
This is we smart to me. It's a company, within a company. It's me smart to me. Hi, I want to be in the laboratory.
damn, that's crazy. All right, so we're gonna do this problem because I think it should be. We could do it like 5. We want to write a function that merges 2 sorted lists into a single sorted list without any duplicates. Sounds complicated, but I promise y'all it's not. Step 1 is gonna be what? No, actually, that could be before or after. It doesn't matter. But what's the main thing that we're gonna want to do? Before any of that.
Not supposed to make a list, but it's supposed to.
Give it a name.
Give one a name. We gotta create a function first, right? So how do we create a function? The what? Exactly. But before we give it a name, we gotta do what? We gotta call it a certain 3 letters. Yeah, so it's that. All right, now we give it a name.
What'd you say?
Now we give it a name.
What's the name?
Yeah.
Name with well, name it is.
Wait, do you spell it with 1 0 or 2?
Yeah, 2 D, but an I at the end.
It's right there, like, explain it more.
Because if you spell it with a Y, why?
I see that. Alright, cool. And then what's next?
We have a list. It's just that
I'm busy, but then it takes in what? It does take in the list. Well, not just one, but it takes in two. So we'll just go. Right. List one. List two. All right. So now we wrote a function. Stop. Now we want to merge two sorted lists, right? So let's just assume that these lists we don't know if they sorted or not, right? What's the first step that we're gonna want to do for both of them? Before we merge,
we have to make the list already.
our lists are gonna be made afterwards, but we could do a couple of things before we even call them. So that way, no matter what you put in, bam, it's done. So we made our function, right? We'll assume that it takes in two lists already. But now what do we gotta do? We gotta, before we merge, we gotta sort our lists. Because we gotta always assume that the lists aren't sorted. So we gotta do what? Yeah, we do list. One dot sort. List. Two dot sort. Right? So now we sort these two lists. Boom. What now? We want to merge. But how do we merge?
Yeah, how do you merge? Do you just like merge to something else? Wait, no, that wouldn't work.
Nope.
That way.
There is no dot merge. But there's two different ways that you could kind of go about it.
Wait, so there's two ways you can do it without duplicates?
Yeah. So okay. Anybody have any like brainstorm or anybody brainstorm any ideas? Damn, that's crazy.
So I'm saying, Aaron, he's pretty pretty good right now. Think so?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways that we can go.
We can go to once.
Well, we don't need to do a new function. Okay, I'll give y'all a clue. The first one is something that I showed y'all earlier.
No.
We could either A, create a new list, right?
Yeah.
Or B, we could change or we could add stuff, right? We could either add stuff from the second to the first or the first to the second. Which one do y'all think is gonna be easier? Create a new list? Okay. So now we do merge equal to empty list, right? Now what we're gonna need to do is do what? We're gonna have to go through every. That's what I. We gotta go through every item in the first list and add it, right? So how do we do that?
Yeah, how do you know that at first?
Because the name of it.
We do a for loop, right? So we'll do for in list on, right? And then we'll do merge the append and then none, which is essentially for every number in the list, append that number to our new list. Right? The other way is we now do for num in list 2. What should we do? We gotta have a preliminary what? A preliminary check, right? We gotta make sure that, let's just say this number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, yeah, let's do this. And then this has, list 1 has 1, 2, 3, and list 2 has 3, 4, 5. At this point, what are we gonna have in our empty list? That's not empty no more. Not yet. Okay, what's this list? Oh, what does it have? It's not just a bracket, it has numbers in it. Okay, exactly. Can you read those numbers or not? Wait. I'm at this too. I'm saying about the last one. Oh yeah, this was 3, 4, 5.
Is this that steps?
No. So for what the for loop is doing is for every number in the list, append it, right? So for this list, they're saying, okay, number 1 is 1, number 2 is 2, or yeah, it's like merge that append goes, okay, I read the first number, I'm adding. So then this becomes 1. And it says, okay, go to the second number. Now in the list it's like 1, 2. Then right here it says, okay, now 1, 2, 3. Now we kind of got to do something similar for the second list, where we're calling it, but we have to now check, right? So we do if in our merge. You can honestly just continue. And then else we can append. Right? So if we were to code this out real quick, oh shit, because this almost not. It would look a little something like this, right? So the Easy takes in 2 lists, right? From there, we could do that for very easy thing, but we don't know if that's going to 100% work. So we'll do list 1 dot sort, list 2 dot sort, merge is equal to that. And then we'll do for number in list 1. If the number is not there, we append it. We do the same thing for list 2. Where if the number is not in the merged list, we append it. And now, if we're to call Izzy, oh, we'll print it. It gives us our list, right? All right. I think that's a good stopping point because it's 7:50. So go ahead, start